Yes. Oh.
I need to make a song for this. Make some words. Say some words. Make some words. Say some words.
Yeah, we need some lyrics
Drunk
to this.
Banthas podcast. It's the Drunk Banthas podcast. It's the Banthas podcast. Drunk Banthas podcast.
Hello, you beautiful nerds. Welcome to the Drunk Banthas podcast, where we talk about sci-fi, fantasy, horror, and all the popular art that we love. Also, we do it drunk.
Mostly.
Mostly drunk.
Also, we do it singing. Sometimes. We can have a musical episode where we all have to respond with musicals.
Musical episode is a very nerdy thing to do. If you've ever watched Buffy or Star Trek, it's the thing to do for sure.
We can do it better.
Maybe, yeah. I'll take that challenge.
We can do it better.
But yeah, we're always more or less drunk. Never mandatory, but always encouraged. I'm here as always with my co-host and brother Bill. How you doing?
What up, though? What up, though? I'm doing good. How y'all doing out there? How you doing, man? Nobody asked you that. Nobody cares. Go ahead.
Nobody ever asked me how I'm doing. That, honestly, everything is everything. I'm so excited about tonight's show. We are live, as always, every Monday at 8 p.m. Pacific time, and we have a great show for you guys tonight. I have, we're going to be talking about X-Men 97.
Woo.
We're going to be talking about season 2 finale of Halo.
Ooh.
We're talking FX's Shogun. And we're talking to Invincible. And as always, we're talking shit.
That's right. What's good, Othelius? Shout out to everybody else that's watching too.
Yeah, guys, thanks for watching the live tonight. But before we talk about what we're talking about, let's introduce our panel tonight. We got on our panel producer T Sama. What's up what's up going on? That's not
Wow,
That's not
words
easy.
are hard.
If it's not on the teleprompter, I don't know what
School.
How's it going, producer T?
It's going pretty well. This show's kind of helping me not at all brush up on my Japanese. Every now and then I get some but they're using this old school Japanese too. So it's some of the words I'm they don't say the way they say thank you is way too formal. I'm we don't say all that. So it's not really helping you learn. You're not gonna learn Japanese. You're gonna sound like a weirdo when you practice Japanese from Shogun and it's still a great show.
It's as if you come to this country talking like this.
What are you talking about? You are not about to meet the emperor, dude.
Four score and 7 years.
And we also have on the panel tonight Art Rosenbaum. What's going on?
Haven't
Art?
seen you in a fortnight. Art Rosenbaum.
How's it going? It's good to see everyone. I really like the idea of someone going to Japan and trying to talk Shogun Japanese. Everyone's like, oh, we get it. You saw the show. And he's sitting there, he's like, no, I'm a time traveler. What the fuck are you talking about? just really trying to lean into that one.
Right.
Dude, I would love hearing somebody say I'm a time traveler in old-timey Japanese to a Japanese person who is
you might
who is
be able
literally
to go...
yo, just what the fuck? That could be possible. I did see this in a television show yesterday.
Bill, you might be able to go watch season 2 of Heroes.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because they do some time traveling in season 2 of
Hero
Heroes.
accidentally travels back to the feudal times.
Oh man, that might be something that we have to revisit for the subscribers or for the members.
That's a real long, real up and down. Does it hold up?
No, it's gonna be for the members only, which it will be on Thursdays, 7 p.m. Pacific time. Right now, it's open to everybody, but it's gonna be moving to members only. So all you got to do is hit the join button. It's 99 cents a month. Really good deal. You get bukus and bukus of content because you get all the movie reviews and doesn't hold up episodes early, and you get to hang out with me every Thursday, 7 p.m. Pacific time. Bantha Bunch show, baby. Go ahead and hit the join button and get up with us because we're gonna be doing all kind
of ever.
Say what?
Last show.
Oh yeah, last show was crazy. Yo, just go over there, Go over there right now to the live. Go check out the Bantha Bunch, and you can see how crazy it gets.
Yeah, like
no,
you guys
Nine just likes trying to say shit to me because he likes to get me hyped. He just like throwing grenades into conversation.
Yeah, guys, if you want to check out what we're talking about,
he likes content.
Goes behind the curtain.
Yeah, he loves content. So he just knows. He knows if you put a dime in my back, you get a content photograph, like a photo booth. You get a content just come out my mouth. Just put a dime in.
Yeah, guys, check out the Drunk Banthas. The Bantha Bunch episodes in the live tab of the channel. And special credit. If you watch the video, you can tell all your friends that you're not racist. It's like I support Black people. I watch the Banthas Bunch every single week.
Actually, that's true.
That's true. You can write off on your taxes and say like,
there's no way you could be racist and make it through one of my episodes.
It's kind of impossible.
I don't think so.
But before we get started on all of our topics today,
before we move on, just can you read that?
Oh yeah, Athelia says,
I can't see it this far.
Terry can't catch on the Japanese because he catches flashbacks of when he was cloned like the Winter Soldier.
First of all, the CIA would not allow this technology to get to another country. So
it's a deep fake.
I'm just imagining Arrested Development. Huh. That doesn't sound like us. That might have been CIA West. West. Were you guys bugging a house in Iraq? Oh shit! Yeah, that was us.
Yeah, that was us.
Fail-safe for the program is I can't learn any other language but English. American. Wouldn't that be a good fail-safe if you had like cloning technology to be like no other country can use it because this clone can't learn any other fucking language but English? So sorry.
Honestly, that really would.
Well, hold on. Before we move on and ponder more, I do want to get this one in quick before everybody watches the next episode, we're going to be talking a little bit about Shogun.
Indeed. Oh, actually, real quick, before we get...
Are you going to do some house cleaning?
Sorry, we're going to do some house cleaning real quick. Before we get started, I just want to thank all you guys for watching.
Am I fired?
No.
For guys, if you don't know, we fire Jeff at the end of every episode.
I'm amazed you guys wait till the end.
It's like we'll do that after the show. But before we get started, I just want to thank everybody for watching my review of Dune Part 2. It's been doing pretty good numbers, so I really, really appreciate all you guys for watching. And I want to say thank you to everybody who voted on the latest poll. I asked you guys to vote on, like, I needed some advice on like what to cover for May the 4th. For the Star Wars Day, and you guys voted on an Empire Strikes Back versus Dune Part 2 video. So working on that right now. Thank you guys for voting.
Star Wars Day.
Star Wars Day. May the 4th.
Star Wars Day.
And
Star Wars Day.
I'm going to propose something. I'm going to propose something here. Day. So we all celebrate May the 4th. May the 4th be with you.
On Star Wars
Day. But I'm proposing something.
Don't get down on one knee.
May the 4th be with you. Star Wars Day. May thy 9th chip and shatter. Dune Day. Can we do that?
Jag.
Can we do that, please?
This is what I have to do.
May thy 9th chip and shatter. Can we not do that? It's not any cornier than May the 4th.
I know we co-stream on Nerds at Night, but damn.
That's pretty fucking nerdy. It's about as nerdy as it gets. You couldn't get more nerdy unless you was watching Game of Thrones review videos on YouTube at the same time.
This is a safe space where all the bad ideas are welcome.
Welcome.
Guys, let us know in the chat.
Do you feel always about to go that far? Always about to go just that extra mile.
I always got to.
And then I have to say, no, don't say that. That's gonna get y'all canceled.
I would love it if what got us canceled was May thy 9th chip and shatter. It's like no, this is too much. This is too much.
It clearly won't be that. It clearly won't. That might be the reason people stop watching this. It'd be a different kind of canceled, not the same kind of canceled that I was talking about.
I got a quick question. Has anyone seen the 3-episode 2003 miniseries Children of Dune? And is it as bad as I think it is?
Yes and no. I've seen a piece of it, and it was rated very badly. I couldn't get into it, so good luck.
Well, what I'm thinking is,
I saw it when it came out, and I watched it because I just watched Dune. My dad taught me all about Dune, and then this was coming out like right after I had seen Dune. So I was like, yeah, I'm excited to watch it. And I was mad the whole time because of the way they just kept saying Harkonnen instead of this Harkonnen that was in the movie. And I was just like, stop saying it like that. It's so lame. And then like the story was weird, and then I did not like it whatsoever.
Well, then Alex, I say for May Thy Ninth Chip and Shatter.
Fuck no, man.
I say you choose. I say
it's already happened.
That show.
I didn't think it would catch on, but
it already happened.
That show versus the Star Wars Christmas special. Do the cheesiest of both.
That would be really interesting, guys. Let us know in the chat what you think of that. Othelius also said in the chat, Alex woke up and saw those views on that Dune video and shouted, "Lisa Nagaib!" I've literally actually been saying Lisa Nagaib as just like an exclamation in my brain every time something like cool happens. Like I'll see a cool on a basketball game, I'll be like, "Lisa Nagaib!"
Alex, you saw Dune 2 in 4DX, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it in 4DX, yeah.
Come on, when he learned how to ride that worm, did you cheer at the end, like in the theater? Because I did.
I was too busy trying to make sure that my alcohol didn't spill on my lap.
That was like the best part of the movie was the worm ride.
Speaking of alcohol spilling.
Oh
It
yeah.
doesn't
we had a lot of sake spilled in this episode of Shogun, episode 5 on FX.
Yes, Broken to the Fist is the name of the episode. This is a pretty rad episode. It's probably my favorite episode so far. Even though like there's not a whole lot of like action or anything like that. There's not people getting obliterated by cannons.
But they're getting obliterated with rice wine.
Somebody's getting obliterated.
Yeah, baby.
What were your guys' initial thoughts on this episode? Producer T, I'll let you go first. What did you think of this episode?
Man, I so always hate cheering for Blackthorn just because he's the white guy all the fucking time. He's not. Why do they have to pick him? I know he's loosely based on someone that happened, but I just don't like him. But he's always trying to do the right thing, but he's so loud and boisterous and just like. If you was right here, how dare you? You have been disrespecting me and disrespecting my boy. I will show you around. You raw ruffians. It's Japan, bro. He's like that American tourist that talks on the fucking subway trains and shit.
Yeah.
I must say, my dear boy, that was a wonderful impersonation of me.
He's the type of guy.
Like the bullshit of like Japan just. When she in like last episode where she gave like that 8-wall speech and then he gave that speech about having like the 3 hearts, I was like, man, Japan people kind of still act like that now. That is still. It's weird, like how standoffish people can be at first before they
might like that. I might like that, because it's a little bit of tongue in cheek, playing a little coy. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, a little back and forth. You know what I'm saying? Before you get to pushing and pulling.
Tongue in cheek. You never go ass to mouth.
You never go ass to mouth. Baby. It's disrespectful.
Super sad that Gardner go with his because they take words so literal and phrases like so. I was like, no, you said somebody touches it, they fucking die. That means they died. They touched it. And he disrespected you. That's the rules, bro. Like you make these kind of rules. They disrespect you, you die. We do that.
It's amazing. Like, the culture is just...
he didn't mean that. Like I got what he meant. He was trying to explain, like, no, it's serious, but not like
right. But
I have
if I've learned anything this week,
I have some pretty extreme thoughts on that.
No, I agree with you because if I've learned anything this week, though, it's because it's still his fault. Because if I've learned anything this week from Shohei Ohtani and his translator, is that don't say anything without your translator. Like, just don't say nothing. Just wait for your translator to get out the bathroom or whatever the fuck she was doing. Like, she clearly is not far wherever she is. Just wait until the goddamn. Just wait. God damn it. Just fucking wait.
Like, why he always rushing in saying shit? Like, bro, chill out. Stop.
Seriously.
Do we want to get into that part right now? Because I have extreme opinions on this.
I'm gonna just throw it to Jeff right after this. Because why does he just? If I walked into a place in Mexico and just start talking crazy like to everybody, I would look absolutely insane, right? Just speaking English, like, hey, motherfucker, what's going on, Jack? I'm talking about, hey, this motherfucker right here, I saw him eating ass yesterday. You had your window open, you had your windows open. I seen you, but like nobody knows what I'm saying. Like, do y'all feel that I'm not the only one who's like, yo, this nigga's crazy, right?
Yeah, and
no, because I don't speak Japanese at least not fluently, and I'm always in Japan. Then you don't see me mouthing off and
right. No, I'm just saying that is it's insane.
When I talk to my friends that I have there, I just try to speak slow. I'm using Google Translate all the time. Like, we're looking at each other, just texting away.
Let's let the white man. Let the white man speak for the white man.
So that's my fucking issue, though.
Let the white man speak for the white man.
Okay. I disagree on it being Blackthorn's fault. I think it's Mariko and Toronada's. Because here's the fucking thing. You can't assign him a goddamn translator and then be like, hey, I'm going to go sit on this mountain and watch my guys drill. You come to me. I mean, like, that he can't fucking speak. He doesn't know what he's saying. Right. You know that he's just Spanglishing his way through this shit. Leave his fucking translator with him.
Well, what happened is the translator dipped off because she had already gave him some tushy. So
no, she dipped off because she was summoned by Toronada.
No, I'm just saying she would have told old buddy, like, yo, I'm going, but she can't even talk to him now because I'm just saying, to your point, she's still in trouble. Exactly. I'm saying it's still her fault. She should never have gave up the tushy and the cushy.
He didn't realize
it looked like that nigga got sliced to pieces.
Oh man, it's political. This is Game of Thrones. Okay, you can't be just throwing tushy in the time of war. This is a time of war. You can't just be throwing the good stuff everywhere.
I think
you never know what's going to happen in a civilization.
I think this is technically pre-war.
I disagree with you. It, like you said, it is the time of war, and you should be throwing it because not only do you got war, you got earthquakes, they got tsunamis. They said they got fires and stuff.
Their land is trying to kill them.
No, let me tell you why you don't. Why you shouldn't.
I'm team throw it around in time of war.
Yeah, that's after the 19th century. We're talking about the 1600s where a woman get her head cut off for less. So
not here.
That is
so that's what I'm saying. She really shouldn't have. What she did was a reckless act of like basically diving on a sword. Like, I don't give a fuck if I live or if I die type shit. Yeah, because there's nothing in her lexicon, nothing in her experience in life to this point that should tell her I can fuck whoever I want to fuck.
That is
anytime.
Yeah. Wait.
That is one thing.
I'm just talking about this time period, people.
No. That's kind of one of the things I want to dive into. Just like before we get into this episode, like the episode deep, because these are like harkening back to actions from the last episode. But one of the things I kind of bump against with story wise is their relationship, because she is so devoted to this Japanese culture at this time. It's kind of unbelievable that she would just throw everything to the wayside and like honor and all this other stuff. Like, Nick talks out of class and he has to kill his entire family. He has to kill his infant son, but she's willing to just like sleep with a white dude. It's not
so about that, but
that doesn't.
She thought he was dead.
But she don't get to choose what she do with her thing.
Still.
Well, hang on. Because one, she did think he was dead. Two, they in their culture, they're talking about how it's fine for people to sleep around. It's important. It's healthy for you to pillow someone.
No, but that's not sleeping around.
Those two things, but she's not like going around tossing it to everybody. She's just like, hey, I'm going to pillow this guy who she has been tasked with taking care of. But 3, we also come to find out, 20 days? You couldn't wait 20 days to make sure your husband's dead. Mariko.
I do think y'all are using a real modern mindsets towards.
Actually, I was taking the past mindset.
This is the past mindset.
No, this is why
You're not about to argue with this weeb about Japanese culture. You're not about to do that here.
Women still couldn't just do what they wanted to do, though. Like her lord, as she stated, is the one that gets to direct her what she can and can't do. The other girl, hold on.
Couldn't do it.
Hold on, the other girl.
But this was a part of her duties.
They are about that loophole shit. If you don't tell me
the other girl,
it's a good loophole.
So the other lady who's been assigned his consort,
Bad Banks,
she has.
Leave her alone. She had to kill her baby.
She had no choice. She thought she was about to have to suck white dick all the rest of the season, but she didn't because he chose not to, not because she chose not to. That's what I'm saying. So obviously there is a level of where you don't have a choice of where you choose to throw your thing. This ain't the Isley brothers, okay? This is all post Isley. I mean, pre Isley brothers.
There's a level of it goes to it speaks to like the modern the warfare of this time period too, where everything is sort of like cordial, but also just like sort of fucked up. But like it's mostly like we could pretend that everything's like cordial and honorable and stuff, but like we're gonna have this well-known secret that everybody's like fucking behind closed doors. So I could see that. Guys, let us know in the comments how you felt about the
It's not gonna be well. Let me tell you how you know it's not well known. You don't see a lot more decapitated bodies because if it was well known that you was hunching on my female, then you'd be well known to not have a head connected to your shoulders.
I mean,
can we talk about would you commit seppuku for a lord? Like, could you really imagine yourself being so devoted to falling like Joe Biden that Joe Biden
I never even not the best choice now.
So much like,
I'll have to at least have met him, see how I can have to have met him to answer that question.
So I don't know if he likes Josie and the Pussycats. I don't know if I can kill myself for this guy.
When I meet him, does he give me $50 every time I meet him? Like when I see him, does he give me money every time I see him? Because that'd be cool.
But
I've heard of grandparents that do that. My grandparents couldn't do that. They couldn't afford to do that for me. Yeah. So if Papa Joe Biden want to give his old grandson, or I'll probably be his great grandson. Boy, he's old. But if he want to give me like $50, $100 every time I see him, I might. Who knows? I don't know. But yeah, if he hates Josie and the Pussycats, for sure, I'm down with it.
I do think there's one important thing to point out, and that's Othelius's fantastic quote/comment in the comments.
Oh yeah.
No throwing ass in the time of war. Sun Tzu probably.
Yes, Sun Tzu probably.
Look, Othelius understands. Like, come on, there's just so much at play. I don't blame her for it. I just still don't like this white man just because.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
the
not
way
a
he
big
talks.
You know who I like? I like the Spanish guy who works for the Portuguese. That pilot.
Oh my god, yes.
Though he's not in this episode. But yeah,
I don't think we're getting him back.
I think he'll come back. I think that he might need to. I think they might.
Do you think he'll come back this season?
Maybe towards the end.
Okay.
Like this is kind of a long season. We got as far as like these other shows that only get 8 episodes. But at the beginning of this episode, Toranaga returns to Ajiro with his entire army, and upon learning that Nagakoto's killing of Jozen, he strips him of his command of the cannon regiment and gives the position to Omi. Now, I thought this was a pretty interesting scene.
Oh my.
Omi, oh my. I thought this was like a pretty interesting scene because of the way that they're talking to each other. And it seems like, Homeboy could have probably got the promotion himself. He could have got the regiment himself if he wasn't trying to like play both sides of the fence and not really show his full intent. Jeff, Art. What did you think? What did you think of this scene and just like the politics and just like the unsaid dialogue in this scene?
So one thing I thought was really interesting was the part where Toranaga is just sitting there and he's like, "Yeah, they fucking played you. It's obvious what they did." And then, like you said, he gives the regiment to Omi. It reminded me of this was a German general after I think World War I. I divide my officers into 4 classes as follows: the clever, the industrious, the lazy, and the stupid. Each officer possesses 2 of these qualities. Those who are clever and industrious, I appoint to general staff. Those use can under circumstances. Anyway, the man who is clever and lazy qualifies for the highest leadership posts. He has the requisite and the mental clarity for difficult positions. But whoever is stupid and industrious must be got rid of, for he is too dangerous. It was one of those like, yeah, you know what? The guy's got a lot of bad qualities. He's clearly, working for the other side, but he's smart and he's capable, and I can use him.
That's a really interesting quadrant for just like work ethic.
Congratulations. You just played yourself.
I kind of love that. I'm gonna have to bring that up in my next meeting at work.
The lazy and industrious is like, or what was it? Lazy and clever is like, yeah, that's the person who's actually going to get the most done with the least effort.
He knows how to delegate responsibilities.
Yeah.
What about you, Bill? What did you think of this scene where all this treachery or unsaid stuff is going on?
Man, I told you. First of all, I'm speaking from. I told you earlier.
Yeah,
but I'm speaking from a place of ignorance right here, y'all. Okay, I'm just saying. I don't know if this is how people just talk in Japan, or maybe old school Japan. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But what's his name? What's the guy's name that's doing the double triple cross?
Oh shit, I forgot his name.
What's his name?
Yabushige.
Yabushige. Is he cooning? What is he doing? He's putting on some extra shit with his shit. He got some extra sauce because when he be like, whoa, and he's like, then he starts doing all of that shit, and I'm like, wait a minute. Now, why does he believe anything that he is saying? Because if anybody was talking like that and you were listening to them, you'd just be like, somebody kill this nigga, man.
I think he's a character type.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
I think he's exaggerated, and that's the actor hamming him up.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Yes.
This was a show in the 70s, so I was like, yeah, I think this is just.
He's hamming it up. Yeah, he's hamming it up. I feel it. But it's just I'm just like, yo, son, how could anybody be taking him seriously within the universe?
Right.
You know what I mean?
That Shogun Samurai universe, there's always a dude like that.
Right?
Absolutely.
They gotta have that dude.
Every anime I've ever seen.
That's why I said culturally.
Exactly.
That's why I said culturally, though. I don't know if that's how it is.
Yeah.
On the ground.
Right.
Boots on the ground. That's what I'm saying. Is this dude shucking and jiving, or is he just or is this something is this something that you got everybody got an uncle that's like that? Right. Do everybody got an uncle that's like that in Japan? You know what I mean?
That's
speaking of which, producer T, what did you think of this scene, and just also his interaction with his son later on, where he's like, "You think you run this shit?"
Come in on it. I feel bad for the son because he's trying, because he had the initiative to be like, no, we shouldn't tell my father. I should fucking make a move. I need to do something, and this is the time to make my move. But he didn't know what the move to make, and Omi is like, man, they don't need to be knowing about them cannons.
Have you ever seen a dude get blown up?
Show him a demonstration about them cannons.
Hi, Parker. Shout out to Parker. Welcome to the Drunk Banthas podcast.
And I don't know. I don't really. It kind of did Toranaga really want them to move into the attack, or is he just finding the positive side of now what was going to happen? Because that would have been his plan. He would have to attack Osaka, but now he has to bring them out into an open battlefield. So did he already think of that, or is he now just looking on the bright side of things?
I thought about the same thing. What happened, because he lambasted his son for doing it.
Yeah, exactly. I was like,
but in it, he was letting him know a lesson out of it. Like, I think he was upset, not that he attacked, but that he attacked because he was coerced. And he already knew he was coerced because it didn't benefit him in any way. You know what I mean?
He's like, this is a good idea, but it wasn't your idea.
Well, it wasn't a good idea because it was because it was what your enemy wanted you to do. Because him not realizing, like, yo, why are you even listening to them? I told you not to listen to them.
Yeah.
Like I told you, we don't fuck with them, but you can't keep you cool enough. You know what I'm saying? Like he was basically left there in charge of this regiment because of to teach a lesson of discipline. Like, you know, like everything they do over there got some meaning to it. You know what I'm saying? In the 1600s, especially, for real, like no doubt, everything they do in it's got some meaning to it. And yeah, he left him over there. It was just like a test. And then he had to even up giving him the lesson, since he wasn't actually able to do it on his own. He had to give him the little story about the hawk and the blah, blah, blah. But I did like how he basically took the hawk from them. Like, he was like, shit. He was like, you ain't old enough to handle this. See, I thought you was old enough to figure this out.
What nasty ass thing was that Anjin trying to make? And see how they say
I looked it up.
Instead of guy.
No, yeah, he said it, didn't he? He said it was like,
I thought Anjin meant pirate.
Yeah, Anjin means pirate. I'm sure.
Yeah,
sure.
That's what I thought they said in the first episode.
I thought it just meant strange.
But okay,
why did they just call him Gaijin?
I couldn't get over the what was it? The quail? Was it a quail?
It was like a quail, a pheasant.
A pheasant. Thank you.
What the fuck were they trying to make?
So I looked it up. It was a thing back in the day. You would hang it up like that, basically to let it rot.
Pilot.
Pilot. Okay.
Pilot. Yeah.
Well, I thought it was pirate. Like, arr.
No, because I was like, why would they be calling him a pirate? He's been trying
because they thought he was a pirate.
Well, no, at one point, they thought he was a pirate.
Yeah.
And then they found out later that he was a pilot.
He's a pilot.
So yeah, that's where it got.
There's a very racist pilot pirate joke in there somewhere, but I'm not going to touch it at all.
It's called.
You know what? I believe in you, and I think you can flush that out.
Yeah.
Everyone, wait. Let's let Alex drop them.
Give me some time. No.
What the fuck was he making?
Okay, so the thing is, if you were to hang it up like that and let it dry out like that, yes, it would smell. Yes, it would possibly get to the point where it would start to rot, but it would tenderize the meat a lot more. And it would make picking all the feathers off a lot easier. The problem is that works much better in a place like England, where the temperatures aren't fluctuating as quickly. So the thing was,
motherfucker.
So if he had understood the weather better, it might have worked. The other one that I read about was the English rabbit stew that they all turned down. Which, by the way, was anyone else like that? That was rude as shit. And like, don't get me wrong, from the reactions, I get it.
Bro, I probably would have cried. I would have been like, don't stop that, excuse me, Sama, and then walk down. They would have just heard me bawling. And she said that to me. I just would have walked down and cried.
Well, so the same thing I read about the pheasants also had a thing about the English rabbit stew. And it was, while it looks and can even smell pretty, evidently it tastes fantastic though.
Yes. No, I bet you it tastes nasty. I bet you it smelled and tasted. Well, you know why?
So that brings up a question that I have for the group.
Like,
go ahead. What's your question?
You like natto? Then they probably would have liked that rabbit fucking stew, because natto is fucking nasty.
So one of the things that I was reading, that's what they were bringing up. Like, hey,
they're both eating that. They should have tried that nasty ass rabbit stew.
Yes.
Like their food ain't nasty either.
That's my question.
Right. That's what I've been.
What's your question?
So,
like, I need your fucking natto. And I would have ran out.
So the thing I was reading, they were pointing out that, like, hey, you know, like the whole thing here is respect and honor. He sat there and ate that funky ass natto. And you know what? He even could have been like, this tastes like shit. But he was like, okay, I could see how this is, you know, blah, blah, blah. But they wouldn't touch the stew. And I think that, so my question is, do you guys think that is dishonorable, especially in my opinion, when they were a guest in his fucking house?
Dishonorable. They all should have committed seppuku right there.
Dishonor on you, dishonor on your kind.
How do you feel?
Like, that's why I said I keep hating Blackthorn, because they keep making him like the perfect victim that you feel bad for the whole time. And this episode did it for me with like just how subtle. Like you're right, Jeff.
He's an idiot.
Thing, but if you've like been paying attention to how they treat each other, that was so disrespectful what they did to him.
He's
Alex,
an idiot, but he's open to their customs.
Alex, go ahead. Tell me how you felt.
Like I did like the playing around with the customs, because it reminds me of the Jamie Foxx stand up bit where he goes to Africa and he's got a bunch of cologne on and he's with this dude from Africa. He's like, oh, what does that smell? And the African dude's like, yes, what is that smell? like, you're the one who smells fucking awful. But like, and this is like, I did like how they had this differences in culture and how they were interacting with each other. And it's kind of played up for the show. I'm not sure if it really went down like this, where someone could just completely disrespect someone's culture, and then because they put so much value in respecting each other's culture. I think that they would have eaten it even though it was nasty to them, like in that situation. But yeah,
look, man.
I thought it was more played for like comedy.
Because I don't. First of all, first thing, I don't think that he made it bad, or thought that he made it bad, or didn't prepare it correctly.
Right.
Because he thought
didn't have sherry.
Yeah, he thought that shit was just like off the chain. I mean, he was smelling it. He was like, yeah, boy. About to throw this. Boy,
as the blacks would say that we've captured, I put my foot in this.
I had my whole ankles in this one. I put both ankles, actually. I learned that from a Negro. No, it wouldn't have been a Negro at the time. It would have been a Moor. I learned that from a Moorish man.
Killed him dead.
Killed him.
But yeah, I did like the scene.
No, I just so anyway, I don't think that he messed up the food. I think he made it the way it was supposed to be made.
Right.
As far as him eating the whatever food, what was fermented something?
Natto. It's fermented beans.
Yeah. Right. So he ate the natto, right? He asked for the natto though. Yeah. He asked for the natto. He was like, yo, what y'all got over there?
Yeah.
What you got?
Like cheese.
What's that on?
But again, because he was being accepting and curious of their culture.
I don't think he's accepting and curious. I think he was hungry. And he was like, y'all get that, but I don't get none of that. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, he had the munchies. He just smoked a little weed.
Yeah, he was like,
I'll try that.
You know what?
I've been drinking sake all day, masturbating in this back room, man. Let me get some fucking
I'll tell you what.
Look
up a picture of natto.
It's gross.
You see that like gunk stretching from bean to bean, you're not gonna be sitting there like, yeah, I'm hungry for that.
Yeah, but like, you gotta remember where he's coming.
There's just no way. Like,
you gotta remember where he's coming from, though. You gotta remember where he's coming from. He's coming from 1600s London, where he would be happy to eat snot off the ground. Like, these motherfuckers were poor. They ain't eat nothing.
Talked about it. Like
they were eating sawdust with yeast to make bread.
And honestly, when I saw that stretching like shit, I was like, this looks like a Pizza Hut commercial. Like, honestly, it just looks like
really.
Yeah,
oh man, I thought it looked like spooge.
For breakfast.
All I'm saying is, I think that he just can't cook. I don't think that he made it wrong or anything like that. I think he made it I think it was a good parallel between two cultures of food. Just y'all point out the first meal session that we had where he was wanting to eat the natto,
mm-hmm.
And Nino. No, sorry, not natto.
I like how you basically just did school chants there. Nina.
But yeah, but then also he brought his little meal to the table, but it's just basically is like one culture has like a cleaner way of eating, and another culture is just like, yo, throw that shit in there,
yeah,
and then throw some of that in there. Oh, y'all got some of this? Oh yeah, throw that in there too. Yeah. It's just like, and because you have different ways of needing to survive, right? Like,
yeah.
You know, it was just different ways. The fucking earthquake scene. I don't mean to jump around.
No.
But the earthquake scene really touched. Like when that happened, I was like, "Oh damn! I ain't never seen no earthquakes like that." We have earthquakes here in Los Angeles. I ain't never seen the earth disappear into the earth. I ain't never seen that.
Yeah, that's some.
So it gave a different scope of like.
They call that level 2.
Man, dude, that's just crazy. It gave you a different scope of like how dangerous their life is over there, and that's why they eat cleaner. They don't do a whole bunch of like preparation and stuff. Like you can't have
none of it matters to me.
You can't have any meat cellars and anything like that, smoke houses and all that shit, because it's just going to fucking topple down, and you lose all the food that you had prepared for however long and all that shit.
And everybody's
kind of crazy.
At that time, most people everybody's always living on the coast.
Right, exactly.
Thelius.
Thelius says, looks. No, which
he said, nigga said Nino like Nino Brown.
I was gonna say that one. No, I was laughing at the one underneath. It looks like Toph and the Dai Li was attacking.
Yeah. And it's like I did like man, I completely forgot what were you even talking about.
Food, culture, if they're being disrespectful or not.
Right.
Yeah. You basically already said that, but I think you were trying to segue real nice. And
I had a really good segue in my head.
But whatever, just move on to the next thing.
I like their whole drinking scene when he called him a little bitch with his little bitch cup.
There's like definitely a lot of tension going on in this scene, even though like Bintaro, but Bintaro, what's her name?
Mariko.
Kate, yes. Kate is
Mariko. Bad Bangs is Fuji.
Yes.
Take me to Fuji.
Bangs are bad.
Not great. But yeah, like Fuji, Andrew Lincoln.
Andrew Lincoln is honky.
Yeah, and Kate and the bad wife beater. They're all hanging out and having dinner together. And the tension is really high, even though like even wife beater doesn't even know that Kate slept with Andrew Lincoln.
Right.
I've got so many other. I'll say all my jokes after the podcast.
I'm so sorry.
Ask me about my wife beater joke when I get off this.
But what do you guys think of like just the tension in this scene? I thought this was one of the better scenes of the episode. Producer T, what do you think?
I like the tension in the scene, and I really did feel bad for Lady Mariko. Like her dad was like, "Your dad's a traitor." I was like, "No, he killed the like bad dude that you're all happy who's actually dead." But since he still was leader, you're not supposed to just kill the leader like that. She gets punished, and her family has to kill themselves for all these stupid fucking reasons. Just
shame,
because you have these stupid laws when you know you need it to happen.
Yeah,
one man's for it. It's like that's stupid. That's
shame.
Stupid. You're making for it.
It reminded me of the Kingslayer kind of story.
Yeah, it kind of had
yeah.
But at least they let him live. But there's like I know people always talk shit about me.
Crazy.
So,
Kingslayer.
If he's the Kingslayer, is Mariko the King Lair?
Ooh,
because she fucked the white boy.
But she like Jamie is the Kingslayer, but then Cersei had to walk the shame.
Dang.
Wow.
But yeah, I don't know. Just after that scene where he hit her and like he's like had his gun ready. I was like, I mean, like, don't shoot him, but like, don't sword fight him either. Just like, I would have threw the gun down.
Right.
You gonna swing on me? You gonna swing on me? Like, translate it. Tell him he needs to swing on me.
No, because what old dude did was he wife beater saved his own life, because whatever he was about to do outside of what he did, he was about to have his head chopped off in the morning. Because what's his name? Scorpion, he wasn't been to have all that.
Yeah, Scorpion wouldn't have had that shit.
He wouldn't have been to have all that because he would have just chopped his head off. And I like that. I mean, well, hold on, I don't like it.
Actually, I think
I like their form of justice is either you kill yourself or I will kill you.
Yeah,
like we
very absolute.
So
you don't have to kill me because I'm not committing no. I don't give a fuck. I'm not even gonna have no kids in this society. This is a terrible place to have children. I would just never have kids, and you can't just destroy my whole bloodline. Fuck all that. It's just crazy. I'm not killing my child just because y'all think I said something out of pocket.
Right? That's
I say
no. You said it out of pocket. They saw it.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying just because y'all feel that
so
way. Like, first of all, y'all shouldn't have been violating. Y'all shouldn't have been violating Scorpion like that. That's the first thing we need to get out the way. Second thing, so he just get to get violated and we don't get to violate y'all. Oh my mama, I'm gonna have to see somebody about this. No, so I would never survived in this time period, man. But whatever. So, I wouldn't have survived during slavery either. It'd have been some shit talking. Man. Basically, I can't go back in time. Who needs a time machine? Fuck that. I'm just gonna stay right here.
Yeah, like you. Sorry, Jeff. Were you about to make a point?
Oh no, I was just gonna say. I was just gonna agree to an extent. I love the tension in the scene because the entire time I'm sitting there and I'm like, "You're both fucking idiots." Like, really, you just got like, you're pissed off that another man's in the house, so you gotta show you got a bigger dick. Fuck you. Also, Bantoro the entire time is like, dude, your society is respect, and you are hard disrespecting this guy who you're a guest in his house. So to me, it was just like, even before he started beating on Mariko, it's like, dude, what's going on here? Like, this guy should really be like bending over backwards, and he's not.
Yeah, this was
to be fair.
To be fair,
the old buddy was being disrespectful first because he, in their culture, is disrespectful for you to be asking people to tell stories of war. Like,
he was Bantaro was disrespectful before that.
Yeah.
Just because Blackthorn couldn't understand him.
Motherfucking monkey eating.
Yeah. Just because Blackthorn couldn't understand him doesn't mean that wasn't disrespectful.
Yeah.
Blackthorn has gotten calmer as we've gotten to this episode, but all he's done is call them a bunch of monkeys, vermin, mongrels, and all kind of shit. So I'm just saying he has been disrespectful. They just can't understand what the fuck he's saying.
Yeah.
So he has been disrespectful at every turn. He just has been softening up as we got.
But he wasn't brought up in a culture where respect's that important. Bantaro was.
He was brought up where he couldn't say none of that shit to nobody of any magnitude back home. He's being disrespectful blatantly, but at the same time, nobody knows what he's saying, so it's not coming across the same way. Now, where he is, where his situation was fucked up is his interpreter is not, his translator is no longer looking out for his best interest because she had to tell him all that.
Yeah,
she had to be like, well, he wants to hear stories of your war. She could have just said to him like, hey, that's something you shouldn't ask him because that's fucking crazy.
That could have been
that can get you killed.
Yeah,
he's also drunk and he will chop all of our heads off in here and commit suicide.
She did try saying that though. She did try being like, please, he's had a lot. Choose your words carefully. Right. Tell a story.
Right. Yeah, and telling him to tell us the war story. I was like,
yeah, but she didn't have to she could have not said one of the other way. It didn't have to go both ways.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
And he asked first, and she could have been like, "No, we don't like." Hey, before I translate this, no, we don't really tell stories like that about war like that. You're right. She should have said that.
Yeah, she could have.
She let it go, and then she got onto the point later what Jeff was saying. So
right,
I just want to point out this right here.
Bad translator.
Athena said if Bantaro shoot like that, he gotta be.
He said if he shoot like that drunk.
Oh, shoot like that drunk, he's got to be unstoppable sober. Yeah, like that.
He hit both of them.
I saw one person had an issue online with the arrow. They're like, no, because arrows bend when they fly. It wouldn't have just gone straight in front of her face like that. It's like, watch the scene. It fucking bends, man.
Yeah, it did wobble.
Yeah. It absolutely did. That was very
it got closer and then kind of backed away.
Yeah, that's a huge nitpick to have. But
I did nitpick was wrong. That's like being like, the Hulk's actually supposed to be green.
You know what?
Fucker, he's green on the screen. Adjust your
clearly-
ratio.
They clearly weren't watching it in 4K on FX.
Oh, clearly not.
You must have been watching it on Hulu, where it's not in 4K. So I'm just trying to tell you.
But it is interesting because like this is the first real depiction of her husband that we're really getting, because we don't see how much of an asshole he is.
I feel like it was very well.
Yeah, like at the beginning.
Maybe that he wasn't hitting her. That wasn't that far yet.
He was, and like she already gave her the biggest clue that I knew her husband wasn't shit was when he first asked her to describe your husband, and she was like, "Well, he's a loyal and good warrior," and I was like, "Those aren't qualities you should be naming your husband right off the bat. That's not the things you should be saying about him."
I think she said people say he is a great warrior. Like
yeah.
Like, I don't even.
That's what I heard.
I don't even know. Really, he just be around here yelling. I don't never even see him fight nobody. Nigga,
I'll tell you what.
Fuck with nobody, really.
Mariko is going to pass every single fucking lie detector test on Earth, and she ain't never going to tell you shit.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah, like you see him, and then I felt bad for him. I was like, "Oh man, he went out like a straight up G."
Holy shit! I just realized something.
I was like, "Oh damn, that dude's
I just
cool."
realized something.
Right.
First of all, I want to say I apologize.
on the ridge.
I want to say I apologize because I forgot to mention at the top of this video that this is episode 160 of the Drunk Banthas podcast. Holy fucking shit. So shout out to all y'all who are watching right now. Appreciate y'all. We couldn't have got to 160 without you. Actually, we could have, but it wouldn't be as much fun because it would just be us talking into a blank void.
Oh, it'd just be so sad. Like,
very sad.
I just want to thank our subscribers.
Yeah.
We're talking about Shogun today.
So if you're watching on Twitter or Drunk Banthas or Nerds at Night, please give us a follow, like, subscribe. Alex, let's talk about the endings.
Let's talk about the ending, because we mentioned a little bit about the massive earthquake toward the end. It causes a landslide, and Blackthorn rescues Toranaga from being buried alive. Other people help too. Come on, Wikipedia. But Blackthorn returns to a heavily damaged Ajiro and discovers that Fuji had been injured. And the following day, Murajai leads Yabushige and Omi to your I'm pronouncing.
No, just give it to us. Give it to us.
Yuriji's hut, and manages to convince them that he was the spy that they were searching for. In Ahsoka, the remaining regents debate on who will take Toranaga's place on the council, and Oshiba finally arrives and reunites.
Maybe you don't know that's his cousin. That was such a great scene.
Oh yeah, that was so awkward.
By the way,
that was
one of the best insults ever. He called the dude a syphilis.
He called him a disease.
Well,
he not like, I don't want that syphilitic prick on here. No, he was just straight up like, I will rather die than have that rotten syphilis on our council. I was like,
what's bad about it is the fucking dude. There's a dude with syphilis on the council.
Leprosy.
Leprosy.
Yeah.
Actually, it's feudal Japan. Some of them might have syphilis.
Doesn't he look black? Don't he look black? He look Korean. He got the big nose.
Oh,
like
yeah.
nigga nose.
Yeah.
So I don't know. He got a nigga nose. So I'm just like, yo, that dude got leprosy. But I think he's also.
He looks like the blind dude from Halo.
Yeah, he looked like the blind dude from Halo. That's exactly who he looked like.
Yeah.
Is that not who he is?
A little bit.
It must be. But anyway, we was talking about the end. Yeah, we was talking about the end.
So they're trying to fill the seat, and then I think you're going to bring up that last scene with Emperor's mama.
Yeah. What do you guys think of that?
Where did she come from with this? Like, she just popped out of nowhere and just been like, "Hey, guess what? I'm running this shit now. I am her."
I forgot that she was a character in this show.
She finally arrives and reunites with Yachiko before telling Ishido that the council will now listen to her. This is an interesting way to end the episode.
I think the last time we saw her was at episode 2 When we're seeing the flashback of when the Taiko's dying.
Yeah.
And she was making some pretty like, yo,
so she wasn't
it's all going to be mine schemes back then.
So she wasn't the one that was fucking, what's his name?
No,
nephew?
that's the red. That's like the village's red witch or whatever.
Yeah.
We ain't seen this bitch in forever, man. Fuck that.
Yeah,
it came out of nowhere. I was actually kind of upset about it. Came out of nowhere. I was kind of upset about it as far as we're going to just judge this show as being a show.
The Regents. I want them to be in trouble, and now that they have some lady boss in the round, kind of
right. I can't let them get away with me being in awe of it just because it's it's awesome. We gotta hold them to the standards of television, and that shit was off.
Would have it been funnier? Like, isn't the Regent like the little emperor boy? Isn't he like 12? What if he would have said those lines?
That would have been great. That would have been great.
And it would have been like, yo, motherfucker, you gotta wait 3 years.
It didn't matter. I just wish they'd have given her more previous to this episode. That would have given us more, at least,
I have a feeling
reason to give a shit
episode
about
6 might give us some background on it.
Is that
I also think if you go back and watch the previous scene with her in it, she foreshadows. I think you could see this was coming. It's just that she's in that scene pretty quick, like after the Taiko dies. Just she has like 2 or 3 lines, and it's like, oh, we got a Cersei on our hands, man.
Yeah, I just want to talk about right after the earthquake, you have what's his name? Blackthorn, Blackheart,
Blackthorn.
Black Panther.
Yeah. Blackthorn, Black Panther. When we have Blackthorn go back to the village, the old man who was killed, the gardener.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he goes over first to Fuji, and he sees Fuji, and he has an intimate moment with her, and then he goes over to the rock, and he puts it back and sets it back up just like the old gardener had did previously. Because like I said, we've been getting a softening of his character, which at the same time, I hate to admit, I mean, for some reason he's being a better actor at this point. Like,
yes,
I mean, he couldn't have gotten worse.
This is the first episode I was like, oh shit, this motherfucker acting his ass off today.
Same. Yeah.
So I don't know why.
He's playing the role of like just such an asshole Englishman so well to me that I keep forgetting, like, wait, this is a normal human being. He's probably a cool dude, but he's doing. I think I'm supposed to hate this guy a lot, and then feel awful. I think he's been killing it in the role.
Yeah. I'm not mad at what you're saying because it holds true to what I say about Christian.
Right, it's kind of like when you hated Joffrey so much, you hated him so fucking much, but then you realize, wait.
Well, it's like y'all look. You're holding up my argument.
It's only like 30% of the time I cheer when a kid's killed. Yeah,
you're holding up my argument for why I believe the prequels, Star Wars movies are good. So go ahead.
I love Episode 1. Darth Maul is my jam.
I'm just saying because you're supposed to hate him but I just felt like he was a better performer in the second one. Maybe he doesn't play an asshole. Maybe in my opinion, he doesn't play a real asshole really well. So, but go ahead, Alex.
No, I feel like I'm intelligent enough to discern performance from character. Like I can tell whether I like a person's performance, whether as opposed to the character they're trying to portray is like, oh, I hate this character versus I hate this actor. I don't like this actor a whole lot. Or at least I didn't like him a lot in the first 2 episodes. I feel like he was just like really, really big. But also, there's a lot of responsibility with the directors and the editors. They chose these takes for the ones they're gonna use. And for this episode, I feel like, to your point, I feel like this is one of the better performances for him because I like him more reserved. Where you can give him. I like him at 90%. I don't like him at 150, which he's been like the first 3 or 4 episodes.
AKA his baseline.
Yeah, right. Yeah, his base is 150%.
Before we move on,
before
we move on, I just want to throw these comments up. Ophelia said, "Great warrior, not a great husband. That nigga proved it on the bridge. Yeah. He did. He proved it. Also, terrible husband. Proved that in this episode. And also, he gave us a shout out for getting the 160 episodes. Hell yeah, appreciate you. Shout out to whoever Wizard fam is. Wizard fam.
What's up, Wizard fam?
We appreciate you, big dog. You're cool. You're cool. We're not cool. We're nerds. No, I'm joking. Coolest nerds you ever know.
You're cool. You're cool. You're cool. You suck. You're cool. Peace. I'm out.
Any final thoughts on this episode before we move on to the next topic? Because this is going to be a 6-hour episode. If we don't move on to the next.
Right.
We got to get to the topic.
Only thing I got is just, I swear, every episode is like, how do they keep getting better? I'm fucking loving this show, man.
Okay. Producer T, any final thoughts?
No, I think we covered pretty much all of it. Makes me want to go back to Japan, but definitely not trying to speak anything. Just gotta remember, like,
I'd be so happy.
Don't memorize any of these words and phrases that they're using. Don't do it because you're gonna look like a fucking weirdo.
I'd be so happy. Producer T accidentally chooses feudal Japanese on Duolingo. Just been learning.
And since we're already going back in time, let's go back in time, but a little bit further in the future to 1997. Let's talk about X-Men.
I can't believe it's not on here. Why do we not have?
Oh yeah, I should have done that.
I should have done that.
But yeah, let's talk about X-Men 97. It's the new Disney Plus series that's out right now. It's obviously a continuation of the older X-Men animated show that was on Fox Kids that we all grew up and loved so much. Before we get into the nitty gritty, because like they had the first 2 episodes premiere on Disney. The nitty and the gritty.
That's right.
They don't hang out alone.
But it's a titty and the guys.
They're like Tango and Cash. They don't go nowhere without each other, baby.
It's like lemon tuna fish. What did you guys think of the first 2 episodes of X-Men 97? Art, I'll let you go.
All right. Before I go into everything I loved about it, there was one thing I didn't, and it was just the voices. Some of the voices just kind of landed really awkwardly for me, which is especially awkward when I think some of the original voice actors are back. But like Wolverine, Mysterio, a couple of the other ones I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm sorry, not Mysterio, Magneto. They just, I don't know. It just kind of felt off to me. It didn't feel like it fit the characters. But that being said, there was so much I loved about this. I love that they had feel a lot Letterboxd. I love that, like, even like the animation style they had. I thought they did a great job of blending like the 90s aesthetic with modern animation. I loved that. I loved the story. I think that Sunspot that we got that they're hinting at. I love that we got Gambit back. And then Cyclops jumping out of the plane and laser eyeing to a safe landing was just absolute fuck you. I mean,
they're really trying to make Cyclops cool in this one.
I don't know when Cyclops got an adamantium spine, but how the fuck that motherfucker survived that? I'm calling out. And then
I was just
gonna say,
I thought you were done.
My last thing.
Yeah.
Is just I fucking hated what happened with Storm, and I was supposed to, so I fucking loved it. Like it pissed me off, and it was supposed to piss me off. It did exactly what it was supposed to. They got my emotions.
I think I have a reason for that. Don't let me forget to touch on that. But what did Producer T? But how did you feel about this, or did you watch this one? Did not watch this one. Cool. Okay, well, Alex, how did you feel about this one?
I thought it was a really nice continuation of the cartoon series. Like the animation is like drastic, like is noticeably different, but it's it's apples and oranges. Like the technology has changed so much that they're not gonna just like retrofit everything that they do for animation nowadays just to make it look exactly the way it was back then. So you just gotta make like certain allowances for that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
but I thought the story
also certain things look the way they did then because they had to.
Right. Yeah.
Not because now they moved to the animation is just done so much differently than it was in 91.
Yeah, exactly. Like
I agree with both of you. Bring those big cheeks back. Yeah.
Bring back
yeah, I want to see some rogue cheeks in this one.
We actually talked about it on the Drunk Banthas Bantha Bunch show.
The Bantha Bunch?
We looked for the original clip and did discover it. We did discover the cheeks.
There's only one time where there are cheeks in the cartoons, and
and people were still freaking out.
They're freaking out.
But I still really like I feel like the story more than anything is very in line with what they did in the original cartoon series, where there's a lot of like corny, like silly shit where it's like, okay, come on, bro. Like that's
right.
probably what happened. But there's also like a lot of really
I'm talking weight loss.
There was something that happened in episode 2 with Rogue where I was like, get all the way the fuck up out of here. I can't remember what it was now, but I'm sure I'll figure out when we go through the notes. Yeah. But
was it that she was about to fuck Magneto?
No,
that reminded me of my childhood.
Wasn't. I got reason. I got receipts for all these things.
But things like the relationship with Rogue and
I'm taking notes. I'll remind you.
And Magneto like taking over as leader of the X-Men, like the little stuff like that, like and the whole scene at the last scene of episode 2, I thought was really compelling. So for the most part, I thought it was success. I really enjoyed what these 2 episodes did.
I felt like episode 1, boom, hit you right in the face. Bam, bam. Okay, we doing good so far. You know what I mean? The song wasn't too different. It was different, but not too different. The first episode had a different intro though than the second episode, because in the second one they introduced Magneto. Boom, I'm fucking with that, right? So we're showing that these things could change up as the show changes. That's something that the original show never did in any way, shape, or form. So I was digging that. I did not like Morph's face. Like I thought that was unnecessary.
Which one? He had so many.
Well, like he had that Play-Doh face. You know what I'm saying? Clay face.
I'm just goofing.
He had that Martian Manhunter's cousin's face. You know what I'm saying? Like he just looked like a fake Martian Manhunter.
He looked like the Chameleon, which is a Spider-Man villain.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yes, he did look like the Chameleon, but also I hated that. I hate the way the Chameleon looks. Like, so that makes a lot of sense.
Isn't like that? He's been drawn like that in the comic books, right?
Yeah, in the comics he's been drawn like that, but in the old series he looked like Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yes, which is the face he uses when he wants to go out, apparently. So now I'm saying all that to say that I think Morph is going to have a bigger role. Like they did, y'all just mentioned he looks kind of like Chameleon, and they did have a Spider-Man like Easter egg in this first episode. They had the Daily Bugle newspaper flew over, and if he paused it like I did, it took a long time. Our remote sucks, and fucking got it. And it says, something about the X-Men, but in the corner it says, "Is Spider-Man a mutant?" So boom, we've already had Spider-Man.
That's a big storyline in the Ultimate Universe. They all thought he was to the point where Spidey ends up dating Kitty Pryde.
Right, Kitty Pryde, and then they ended up using that in the animated series a little bit, like where he turned into Man Spider. So I like that little taste. We getting a little taste, like
that'd be cool crossover.
But then, like Cyclops, I'm not mad at what they did, because like they did that kind of shit in the comic books, and the entire time that I can remember what X-Men it has been my whole life, there's always been a complaint about Cyclops being treated like a little bitch in the cartoons from 91 to 96 because he just was always lame. He his goggles get knocked off. He's done. That's it. He couldn't fight. You never saw him like fighting anyone.
Very Velma from Scooby-Doo. My goggles.
And then his optic blast was minimized. It never was as shown to be as powerful as it was in the comics. Right. So I feel like they were just trying to get it out of the way early. Like for everybody who thinks it's gonna be like that, like it was back in the day. No. Yeah. And also, I love the scene where they fucking ripped out the plane. Like, I mean, the Blackbird, like the Sentinel ripped the Blackbird open. Yeah. I was like, we are fucking rocking right now. This is how you do show. This is how you do show. But yeah, we go on and get to some other nitties and the gritties. So we did the nitty. Now we need to do the gritty.
I did think it was funny in the scene when they're in the warehouse and Cyclops is like laser blasting guys that are like right here when he's got this jacked ass arm because like his power isn't like laser beams, it's concussive blasts released from his eyes. So it's basically his power is basically he's punching people with his eyes. Yeah. So I just think it's so funny that he's like tap, tap, tap when it's like you could also just like they're right there, man. It's cool. And it also means he punched the ground so hard he didn't die from falling out of the plane.
That's awesome.
I love what they did with Morph's powers. Right.
Yeah,
I love what they did with Morph's powers in this.
Yeah, they were definitely creative with the Morph's powers in this one, and it seems like to your point, he's going to be more interesting, integral character in this one than he was in the first installment of the series, which is not going to be hard since he was barely in that.
Did he die in the second episode?
But where this show starts off, it is 1 year after Professor Charles Xavier left Earth with the Shi'ar. The X-Men continue their mission to defend mutants and humans alike and go on to become legally sanctioned by the United Nations. Additionally, Jean Grey has become pregnant while support for mutants has grown. What did you think of like the status quo in this new, series? Like, did you think that this is like a pretty solid?
I have a question before that. Did I miss something? I thought X got ganked.
So what happened
I thought what's his fucking prison shot and killed him.
So yeah, at the last episode, I watched all the episodes. I watched every single fucking episode. You're welcome. Because you do not want to do that.
You mean of the original series?
Yeah, from 91 to 90s. I watched 5 seasons in less than 2 months, or less than 3 months.
Awesome. Bill's
in less than 3 weeks. 3 weeks? It had to be 3 weeks. Yeah, I am clinically insane. But what are we talking about?
What did Xavier get shot?
Oh yeah. So yeah, Xavier gets shot, right? He goes into like a coma. They end up saving him, but then Sha'ira like calls him up, like she, psychically connects with the X-Men. She's like, look, I need to come. Yeah, she's like, I need to come and grab Charles and take his. So she took his consciousness, his temporal self, and put it. And they could we can take his body and we can fix him, but we can only fix him in space.
Yeah.
And so he
really
was like,
bad.
yeah, I'm leaving.
Really messed up that they accidentally cremated him first then.
Right. Well, I think also they did a good job of pointing that out by having to have gotten the death certificate, but it's clearly like a year or months and months later. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So okay, we're having to have him declared dead because it's been so long since he's actually been on Earth.
Yeah.
And, that's because you got to have a missing person. Then
you're saying that's why the will took so long?
Yeah, you would have. All of those things took a while to transpire. So they did little subtle things like a Jubilee explaining to which is Solar, if I'm not mistaken.
Was it Solar? I thought it was Sunspot.
I think it's Solar. He's a Brazilian Afro-Brazilian character that was introduced in like the 70s, I believe. But anyway,
okay.
Yeah, his character's very built in racism. Like he literally first finds out
Like
about
the
his
entire
powers.
X-Men?
He first finds out about his powers because he got beat up by a bunch of white Brazilians who were like, "You black and you rich, but you ain't never gonna be white." like they were fucking him up.
X-Men has always been like, talking about like race relations and just like discrimination in general. And to your point, in this episode, after the X-Men save a young mutant named Roberto da Costa from the Friends of Humanity, the FOH, which I guess is this new racist, very actionably racist.
Yeah. Well, they were racist in the season 5. Well, they were. They were in the first.
Oh yeah, they were. Okay, gotcha.
First show too.
Also, just pisses off all the servers and bartenders stealing their front of house acronym.
Yeah, it does. Well, everybody in the front of the house is racist. We know that.
Like
you're not wrong.
It is known. Jean sees that they were outfitted with Sentinel tech and probes Henry Peter Gyrich's mind for the location of the Sentinel's creator, Boulevard Trask, aka Tyrion Lannister. Despite succeeding, she receives a horrifying premonition. She receives a horrifying premonition while doing so. And what did you guys think of just like the psycho like premonition version of the moment of this? Like, I guess it's sort of setting up things that are going to happen later on, or just maybe fears of what may happen. It's a very Paul Atreides moment. What did you think of this, Art?
Oh my god!
I'm on Arrakis. Okay, I can't leave.
Oh
god, you're gonna be insufferable in May.
I'm so I don't know what would have happened to him in 1970s. Jesus Christ, this motherfucker right here would still have Jedi pants on right now.
So my first thought was, I was like, "Wow, we're going Phoenix this early." We're okay, all right. So I was glad to be quickly mistaken, and I liked that they did this because, what's the sentinel, the head sentinel's name? Mother Mold.
Master Mold.
Master Mold.
Oh man, I'm like, this is the first time like I'm like the person who knows everything. This is the first time, man. I'm the go-to, man. This is cool, man.
Because correct me if I'm wrong, but like one of the things that like the stronger Sentinels in the comics did have the psychic attacks as well. And it was one of those things that made them extra dangerous. So I really like that we got to see that in this. I'm saying a lot, I'm realizing, and that's
well, no, it's good because I want to point out that so let's just stick to the storyline for first episode, right? Let's just move through that. So we get Master Mold, like you said. The X-Men get ambushed on their way to take care of this little light work. It's supposed to be some light work.
Right.
But then they get their shit fucked up and then they get jumped. So we got to call in the big guns. And who do they call in?
Oh, I love the big gun.
They call in Storm. They call in Aurora.
Sexy.
Now, why I like this is because I had heard through the grapevine that Storm was supposed to have been used to her Omega level in this series, as she has never been used in the series previous. I
loved that all those Sentinels were calling that out right when she shows up.
Exactly. And see, they glad you pointed that out because that's really the only way we could have even gotten that. Like they could have shown more of her awesome power, but we would have never gotten that confirmed, which is something that they never say in the cartoon previous to this. So unless they said that. Now, what that showed me is there's a reason that they had to get rid of it. You know what I mean? Like get rid of her powers. It's because she's more powerful than Magneto, really. Like she's just 100%. Always kept her powers under wraps. So you got to get rid of her powers so that now we have some, like basically what they did in Endgame with Captain Marvel, we got to make her character have something else to do, so that she doesn't actually end up just ending our movie in less than 45 minutes.
Right?
They do the same thing with Professor X in every X-Men movie, where it's like,
he's
too
incapacitated.
powerful. We gotta incapacitate him at some point. And now that she's like the reigning Omega level mutant in this, like, and she's also a black lady who could lead the X-Men, but we can't have that.
Well, that's Patrick. That's why Patrick Stewart. That's why Patrick Stewart can always play Professor X. He just lay down.
Right. All I have to do is sit down.
He just
Give
lay
me
down.
$15 million.
Yeah, I can sit down. I'll lay down. Yeah, 15, man. You cutting yourself short, man.
I wonder how much
25.
Patty Stu got.
He gets paid $15 million to just take a nap on camera.
Shout out to Phil Mage. Phil Mage said Storm fucking killed it.
100%.
100%.
I did like her.
She was the first Omega level mutant I ever knew was Omega level. Like I've obviously known that there's others, but she was the first one that someone was like, she's like as strong as it gets.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, because they like to point out that Jean is, the Omega level mutant and Magneto, but the show, we don't realize how much the show has contributed to what people actually know or feel like they know about comic books in general. Like X-Men, everything, basically some people probably feel like X-Men didn't even have a comic book until they fucking became a cartoon in their mind. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's
how it is. It's
There's a lot of people it's cartoons on Saturday mornings are a lot more easily accessible than like actually going to a comic book store and buying some shit and figuring out what you want to like, especially when there are like 15 different runs of X-Men or Spider-Man going on at the time.
Yeah, you don't have to be dedicated to go watch X-Men.
Yeah, and no one really took them seriously back in the day because they were basically just, how do we sell toys? They weren't. Right. They followed some of the script, but they weren't strictly adhering to it.
That's the thing about the toys. The toys back in the day, the toys did have little like backstories.
Oh yeah, they had
that would be different from the comic. I mean, from the show sometimes.
Yep.
And then at the end of this episode, after defeating the Sentinels and apprehending Trask, Cyclops and Jean ponder leaving the team and raising their son away from mutant hatred.
Shit, it was just Jean. Sounded like to me it was just Jean. He was like, leave the team.
Yeah, if Jean wanted, then Cyclops could be thinking it too. Just saying.
Happy wife, happy life. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta go. You gotta go with where the wife goes.
Yeah, but I'm just saying he did not seem like he had been thinking about it when she mentioned it.
I thought that was a really good. I thought that was a really good comic book representation of Cyclops, because in the comics he refuses to ever think about anything other than the X-Men, which in his mind is like, I'm a good leader, but it's like you're a shitty everything else.
Yeah.
Also, you're a shitty leader.
Well, you know what? I think that they're gonna do a lot of. There's a lot to do with Cyclops.
I've got theories. Yes.
And Cyclops is because of what we've seen so far, like at the end of episode 2, like we know that they're gonna do some things, and it's gonna have to be different than the comics, but they're gonna do what they do and tangle, weave it in there but also make it entertaining and mostly accurate.
Yeah.
And so I feel like I'm trying to use that to segue into the relationship that we got explored with Rogue and Magnus, or some people may call him Eric.
The cheeks.
Yeah, because in the comic book they talk about how, there's a dream sequence or a flashback or some kind of shit where they actually have a baby together.
I believe that was a wet dream sequence.
They call it. Oh no, I'm sorry. I was about to. I'm telling you, y'all gotta. Members only starting April. Starting in April, baby. We're gonna get it going. I can say whatever I want to on there. But yeah, Rogue and Eric have a relationship in the comic books and through some dream sequence or something like, some crazy shit. But anyway, they have a baby and they're able to smash because his electricity cancels out her whatever
powers, yeah.
Because he's got an electromagnetic condom.
Dude, that's what I was thinking. I was like, well, if he can create a force field, he can create a force field around anything.
Yeah, interesting their relationship, and I do want to get into the Magneto of like it all.
I knew you were gonna say it. I want to get into the Magneto of it all. I knew you were gonna say it. No, it's okay. Look, you got your things, man. You got your thing, man. Yeah. It's like you're watching. He said the thing. He said it.
But yeah, what did you guys think of Magneto being like the leader of the team at the end of the first episode? Because we've seen this happen a lot in the comic books before, where Magneto leads the team. But what did you guys think of like the sort of the cliffhanger of the first episode art? And I'm gonna go. Pete.
I liked it. I liked that because I always like it in the comics when they have Magneto leading the team. It's interesting because he's obviously the villain of the X-Men series for such a long time, but when it's explored in the comics, it's explored correctly in the sense that it wasn't that he was against the X-Men. It wasn't that he wanted to hurt these mutants. It was that he also saw a future for mutants. He just didn't see the same one that Charles did. But despite that, and despite their antagonistic relationship, he and Charles have always had the best of friendships. And so he trusts Charles. So I really do love it whenever we see he kind of puts his, I'll say, crusade aside out of love and respect for his friend. And he decides, okay, maybe I'm wrong. I'll try it his way. I love that.
Yeah, I too loved it. Magneto, aside from Aurora, Magneto might have been my favorite character that we got to experience this episode. I liked how he was wearing, like Alex mentioned, they do this a couple times in the comic book where Magneto becomes the leader of the X-Men, but he's wearing the same suit that he becomes the leader of the X-Men in this one. And they take Magneto to trial in this one. And that's the one that's the same suit he was wearing in the trial comic, in the comic book where he goes to trial. So I can't speak enough on, I could speak for hours on just Magneto. Like, let's just talk about the speech. The one thing that everybody wants to hear about us talking about. The speech that Magneto gave was on some Martin Luther King, Barack Obama-esque speech shit. Like, well, I'm gonna go off
Mutant Luther King
and the mutant Luther Hussein Obama. No, I'm joking. No, the only reason I say Martin Luther King is because we're left to assume he went off the dome. You know what I'm saying? The character went off the dome in his speech. But Obama, as in this fact that he clearly had the speech written, right? He clearly had it written. This was a speech that was prepared. He's like, one day the UN will arrest me and I will have to atone for all sins of mutant kind.
Also, the way he kept pausing, he's like, mutants will eventually.
He kept looking at the bottom of his. He kept looking at his hand. He just kept flipping his palms up and just.
That just had a cheat sheet right there.
Yeah, it's just, mutants have. Hold on 1 second.
Is that a B or a P?
So yeah, Magneto's whole speech was just so fucking inspirational. You know what I mean? Like, and also saddening because you realize when you're watching it, that just applies to everything we got going on in the world right now. Like, and I'm not going to speak to anything specific because we want to keep this monetized. As monetized as possible. So I'm not going to speak to anything, but they literally, you could take things that he said in that speech and apply it to anything taking place global, any conflict that's taking place globally in our time period, in the real world today.
Well, Bill, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, one of the greatest things about one of the greatest things about X-Men is that it's this allegory for exploited people or for disenfranchised people. Like it's really great, one-to-one comparison with just how America treats people that they see as others. So I think
like professional wrestlers.
They don't have it easy. I agree with you, Alex.
Yep.
So
we all listened at the altar of Alex.
And this oh man, I don't. Anyway, this series is like a nice continuation of that. Like especially this speech, like to your point, it feels very like Malcolm X, Stokely Carmichael. Goddamn,
Stokely.
Like this progressive, sort of militaristic form of just like having equality. It's like I want equality, and I just really want you to hear me, and I will do get my recognition by any means necessary. Like I really like that last scene because you don't really know what's gonna happen.
But wait a minute, you're talking about when he took him off into space,
right?
I'm talking about before that, though.
In the courtroom.
So I have a question for Bill on that.
All together, but I'm talking about more so at the beginning. Now, when he did, when he was talking about stepping on people's faces and squishing them like bugs,
it's like I could do this.
I like that, but no, go ahead, Jeff.
So I got a question for you there, Bill. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but in that original series, I don't remember them ever. I remember them kind of like hinting at it, but never directly mentioning, "Hey, concentration camps." I mean, he was literally, as a child. So I was really impressed that they did that with this.
Okay, so I did do some research on that. So they never did really mention that in the cartoons,
right?
Because they don't even call him Eric until like season 3, maybe, or maybe it's season 2. Definitely not in season 1, because in the comic book, the Jim Lee era, he wasn't even introduced as Eric until after the cartoon came out. He was still known as Magneto, and that's why in the cartoon, the first time we hear his name, Xavier calls him Magnus.
Yeah.
He doesn't call him Eric, just calls him Magnus the entire first season because no one knew his actual name, and they introduced the Holocaust story later on after they gave him the name Eric. So
I think it's a smart story to associate to his character.
It is. But like, I guess, so let's just say it happened in 92, 93 that they gave him that tag, and then they started using Eric in the cartoon. I think
like 2-3 years after the Holocaust.
It's 2-3 years after Schindler's List. But I think they just wanted to stay away from it. But
it was a children's show. That makes sense.
Right. But I say that just to say, like, they could have done it. I think they just made it. They just were like, look, we're going to have to actually show how that happened. Yeah. And how do we show that? And they did a good job of it in here. They didn't mention the Nazis. They didn't say, what do you call it?
Holocaust or concentration camp.
None of the buzzwords.
Concentration camp is the word I was looking for. But
zone of interest. None of these words.
But there was nothing that was buzzy.
Super fun day camp.
It's like if you know stuff, then you know that. Like if you're educated, then you know what he's talking about. Right. You know what they're inferring. But if you're not educated, you can just still be like, oh, it sounds like something really fucked up is going on right here.
That was also a really good thing the movies gave us.
Yeah, that like
Definitely.
one of the best things from the X-Men movies
That-
is that
yeah.
intro from the first X-Men movie.
I just say Eric in general.
Yeah.
The X-Men movies have never had a bad Magneto.
Yeah, facts.
That's-
Magneto and
Dude,
Professor X. I like James McAvoy
While Bill's stroking out, I'm going to agree with Alex.
well, moving on before we move on to another
Yeah, no,
podcast,
I'm not going to do
just
that.
wanna talk-
That's why I got the long pause.
let's talk about the last scene of the second episode because it brings up what?
Well, we just didn't really talk about Storm in general, about the power
Right,
like that.
yeah,
We got to talk about it since we're just talking about Magneto.
Well,
That's what I was going to throw it.
yeah.
to.
And by the way, did you guys see that coming when she jumped in front of it? Were you guys like, oh,
Yes.
power gone?
No. I didn't see that coming.
You didn't see that coming?
Didn't. I did
and
not.
he's a mutant. I love it.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Pedros. I did not see that coming. Petro, whatever your name is. But look, Petro.
Pietro meets Tedros.
Mr. Fucker.
Yeah.
Pedros.
Pedros is Petros.
Man, I've been watching so much terrible TV. You have no idea how bad it's been over here. Just so many names. And then switching from Japanese to Russian. Yeah, Pietro. But anyway, yeah, I didn't see it coming when she lost her powers. I thought, like, okay, now Storm's about to be incapacitated for X amount of episodes, and we won't really see her much, which I was about to get mad about. But I definitely knew she was about to jump in front of him. Like, she sees him. There's no way she's just going to use her practical mind and just electrocute this motherfucker to death. No, she's not going to do that. She's going to
like mega wind Magneto out of the way.
Yeah, none of that. None of that. Why do that? Why not just electrocute everybody on the ground at the same time? Why not? Why do any of that? No, she's going to jump in front of this white man and save his life. But you know what? For the greater good, right? For the greater good.
For the greater good.
You know? But I did like how that moment he was like, this is how you wish to see us.
Yeah.
You know, it gave that moment where she was so weak and she was like, I can't feel the wind.
That was great.
Like,
that was
that shit about make you goddamn cry for real.
Yeah,
I'm not a crier at TV and movies, but that will about get you right there.
Yeah,
Didn't get me, but
it's a wonderful vocal performance, and it was a great character moment because obviously it happens to like the best of us. If we were to say, like,
you lost your mutant powers,
Storm, yeah, like Storm is one of the best, like moral and just powerful characters. Like, she's a strong female character in every.
She's a goddess.
Yeah, and to have this happen to her is really, really heartbreaking. And I thought it was effective. Like, you know, I thought it was really, really cool.
What was you saying about the end of this episode?
So yeah, the end of this episode, we get two of my favorite tropes in comic books. One, your beach episode where everybody's like in their swimsuits and they're hanging out by the pool. But also we get the timey-wimey wibbly wobbly. We get a Jean Grey that shows up at the front door of the X-Men mansion.
Though
we already have our OG Jean Grey back here, totally, her ego is Prego.
Grey.
Oh, Jean Grey.
I'm not mad at it.
Rimshot.
I'm not mad at it.
What did you
do? They have those in Jordache?
What did you think of this ending, Art?
Loved it, and considering we got our name as the name,
that's too soon. That's too soon.
Setting us up. It's just straight up setting us up for Cable. Like the second, they were having the kid, I was like, okay, and it's a son, not Hope. Okay, I think we're getting some Cable in here. Then we get the time travel shenanigans. Yeah, they're cabling it up. Also, I don't know if you missed another trope. The one character just dejected and needs to go out on their own, so they just hop on a bus.
That was Gambit, right?
No, it was Storm.
No, Storm. Because I know that.
But that was a trope too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gambit was butthurt because in the past Rogue got butthurt.
Gambit does fit a stereotype that would take the bus.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Gambit
like
is the new Wolverine.
Going across country, taking the bus somewhere. Yeah, that's definitely Gambit style. But yes, Alex, Gambit has become Wolverine. So hard up on a bitch who already got a nigga.
Yeah. they're playing that same old song, but
actually it's even worse for him. Wolverine, if Gene was like, yo, I want to be with you, Logan, he would be like, hell yeah, he could smash and everything would be great, right?
Right.
He would die. I mean, she would die and then he would live for another 300 years, but that has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But Gambit, if Rogue was like, I don't fuck with Eric, I fuck with you, Gambit. Look at you, Remy. It could be me and you, LeBeau. And then he just be like, but I can't have sex with you, Cher.
No.
I still can't have sex with you, Cher.
He would be sitting there like, but I shouldn't have sex with you, Cher. And then he would do it, and you'd see a skeleton looking like that episode of Futurama where all just like,
right. Snoo. Death by snoo. Yeah, it seems like he'd be down for that.
I gave him the death by snoo.
Yeah, it had a very comic booky ending at the end of this episode, and I'm excited to see where we go forward, because they could go into very Days of Future Past kind of area, which they've already obviously explored in the series. But I
do want to go into quick theory time.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I do want
theory time,
because they can't hear it for a few seconds, so we have to wait until they can hear us.
We heard you the whole time this time.
Oh, that's so weird.
I know, right?
Oh man,
so fucked up.
So yeah, you know what? I think it's because, never mind. I'll talk about that later. You know, all my jokes at the end of this podcast. Talk about that later. But yeah,
check us out for the Bantha Bunch to find out Bill's theory on why that was happening.
Oh my God! Please come one, come all. Hold on, I'm gonna just pull this one quote up real quick in this chat. This from the chat. He says, well, now there's two Genes and Wolverine hiding behind a tree rubbing his hand. Yeah,
Film Age knocking it out the park with that one.
Hey, you can't take both of them now. Look here, Scotty.
Right.
Scotty too hotty. Let me go ahead and make a deal with you.
Wolverine just had an instant orgasm. It was like,
whichever one you haven't gotten pregnant, bub.
We hear a snicked, but there's no claws on screen.
I'll tell you one bone that hasn't gotten hard in a while.
Oh, jeez.
This is how you have to talk when there's a 3-body problem. Ooh. Oh, see, Alex, I'm giving you. See, you hadn't seen it yet, so I only want to. You should come on Thursday to the Bench Bunch and talk about your feelings about how you feel disgraced about not fucking watching.
Yeah, I'll come on and talk about how I've not watched the show.
Yeah, you're shame.
But yeah, what were we talking about exactly?
Theories.
Oh yeah, theory time. There's this theory time.
Alex,
any theories? What's gonna?
God damn! Do I just? You know what? Don't stop my music this time. God damn it!
They blocked the X-Files music.
Oh no, but I got it approved again.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's we're sharing. We're sharing revenue.
Sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring. Jeff, how do you think this is going to play out?
So there's two things that are definitely going to happen, or not definitely, but likely. One, Storm's going to get her powers back.
Yeah,
Storm is they got to give her powers back. It's going to be the big redemption arc of there's going to be some big bad at the end. And they're gonna be about to lose, and then boom, Storm busts in newly powered and fuck shit up.
Yeah.
Now with our time traveling Gene, I think, like I said, that brings up some Cable stuff we're gonna get, and I'm wondering if they're gonna use the time travel as a way to fix Storm's powers.
Yeah.
Either travel to the future where they can restore them, or travel to the past and stop her from getting hit, or like messing with the gun before he fires it or some shit.
I like it. You got another one? Or
That's my only one so far.
Okay, Alex, you got any timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly stuff involved, or you got any other theories that may happen?
No.
Any predictions, like anything you think we might see going forward?
Yeah, no theories or predictions necessarily. Like, boring. I'm excited to see where they go with all the time travel stuff, and I like the idea that I like
I'm
the
sorry,
idea of what are your?
I just never have an opportunity to hit the boo.
No,
Every time I speak, there you go.
I have no theories. I'm just saying, see what happens next. You have any theories of what happens next?
Well, you don't have a theory about what's going to happen with Gambit. You don't have a theory about what's going to happen.
No, I'm just
with Gene.
No, I'm like honestly, I'm genuinely excited to see what happens next. I think we're gonna see Sinister soon.
Ooh,
Sinister.
You know what
that
I'm
could
saying?
be some Storm getting her powers back too, right there.
Yeah, I think we're gonna. Yeah, exactly. It could be. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I think we're gonna probably see. What was the other one? What was the other one? Oh yeah. So yeah, I think we're gonna see Sinister because of the Gene clone. That's gonna be a clone situation. But which one is really Gene and which one is the clone? Okay,
I think
right?
it's Terry. Personally,
it's obviously it's Terry. So
Sinister will give Storm back her powers for feet pictures.
I don't.
If the dude's smart, yeah, that's a fair trade.
I think
the judges saying that is a fair and that is an appropriate answer. I think that Storm's gonna get her powers back for sure because it does happen in the comics, and I do think that the Rogue and Magneto thing won't last.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Now, this is my question: did Rogue have sex with Magneto and Mystique have sex with Magneto, like adopted mama and adopted daughter? Weird shit.
Rumor has it.
Very front page of Pornhub right there.
Yeah, weird. Like right up, messing your whole search history up right there.
I just read a movie that no one has ever seen.
That is a fact. Judges say that is correct.
I've got a question for the group.
Right,
and producer T, you can get in on this one too. Outside of who we've already seen, are there any mutants we want to see in this season? For me, definitely Nightcrawler.
Would love to see Nightcrawler.
Alex?
For whatever reason, Cannonball was always a big favorite of mine when I was a kid. I don't know
we
why.
got him in season 5, episode 4.
We did. But for whatever reason, I really liked him in the comics. I would love to see him in this show, even though his power kind of whack.
Is Cannonball the one from or am I thinking about someone else that caused civil war in the comics?
No. Cannonballs, he can fly with rockets coming out of the back of his ass. It's basically his
half
legs.
of Human
He
Torch.
poops fire. Yeah, I gotcha.
It's Human Torch from the waist down.
Yeah. But I think we will get
pure lightning in my pants.
We could get Cannonball because we did get a clip of Morrow in this in this so we could get Cannonball there in the same they're in the team at the same time.
Yeah.
So
and one of my favorite storylines is when they kind of have a connection, like they have a bonding moment in the comics. Marrow and kind of Cannonball. Like I really
nobody else you.
No. Weirdly, Cannonball is the first thing that comes to mind.
I'm looking for Bobby.
Ooh, Bobby Ice.
Yeah, give us another Omega level.
I would like to see the Iceman.
Yeah, and that's exactly another Omega level that never got used right, and we could really have some moments that redeem what they did in the original series. Film Age says,
"What about you,
producer with Psylocke?"
Ooh, Film Age.
Has Colossus shown up?
Not yet.
Well, only as the same way as Psylocke, Morph turned into both of those.
Yeah.
But only by by that way.
We got villain wise. I want to see Omega Red.
Ooh, that'd be a good one.
Oh, love Omega Red.
Brewski. I hear you.
I would love to see him come back. But guys, let us know in the comments who you would like to see on the show.
I want to see Apocalypse.
I was thinking about.
But we're not getting him this season.
Maybe Omega Red.
We're gonna get him this season.
Oh man,
We're already.
How many episodes are you?
It's always a fun one to throw in.
I don't remember how many we're getting. That's a question for a Bantha Bunch on Thursday, 7 p.m. Pacific time. That's the Bantha Bunch.
10 episodes.
Yeah,
I didn't want it to be 10.
By the way, it looks like the last 3 are a trilogy to end it. Tolerance is Extinction, Part 1, Part 2, Part 3.
Well, they used to do that all the time in the other series. Like most of the episodes are just 3-4 part series. So just like a comic book.
Yeah,
we actually have a comic book show.
By the way, real quick, not Cannonball, Speedball was the cause of Civil War in the comics. That was my bad.
Okay.
Speedball.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Oh.
Isn't that the cause of every war?
Our resident comic book historian.
Oh, he goes pretty fucked up because he accidentally causes it. Then afterwards, his power he accidentally causes it by getting like 150 kids, like grade school children killed. But so then afterwards, his powers go wonky, and he can only activate them if he's hurting. So he designs a suit with inward-facing spikes, the exact same amount of spikes as people that died that day. So every time to use his powers, he has to fucking cut himself.
Oh.
And he goes by the name Penance.
Oh, Jesus.
Isn't that awesome?
That
sounds like if he was in Gen V, he would have had like a really good role. Like he would have had plot armor like nobody's business. We can fuck him up and he get more powerful. Like, oh yeah.
It sounds to me like he's going to a lot of emo nights with me.
Oh yeah.
But we're gonna move it on to our next topic. We're talking about
him and Keith can hang out together.
We're talking about the finale of Halo, season 2, and the last episode is called, surprisingly, Halo.
Hey, that's the name of the show.
So it was a really interesting way to. It's a really interesting way to like sort of close out the season. We've been talking about how it's better than the first one. Do you have any initial thoughts on season 2, Bill?
Do I have any thoughts on season 2?
Initial.
Do I have any thoughts on season 2?
Don't say normal things like they're weird. This is a podcast. Like,
let me tell you.
Sounds like he's ramping up to say no.
Let me tell you something, man. So you can't even hear. He unplugged himself on purpose so he don't have to hear his.
Unplugged his can't work like this.
No, you know how I feel, man. It's fucking amazing. This season compared to season 1 was like, either would I rather get my dick sucked or get a hand job?
Okay.
Would I rather have sex? Or would I rather have a blow-up doll?
It's like satisfying, but not. It could be better.
These things are all completely different spectrums, man. It was great, man. It was like, man, I can't even really explain it any better than I just did. Actually, there's no two larger juxtapositions than what I'm trying to explain right now.
It was pretty like extreme the differences between season 1 and 2, and like we mentioned off pod, there were some things in the later part of the season that weren't quite as great as like it was spectacular as
last episode.
Yeah, it's hard ending a thing, but I felt like the season definitely outdid the first season by miles and miles. Art, what were your expectations? Like, did you finish the season 1? Because I know you were kind of like watching both.
Oh, I finished season 1.
What did you think?
Right. So,
finish season 1. I forgot you finished season 1.
To paraphrase Tom Segura, paraphrasing Mike Tyson, I fucking love season 2. It was just night and day how much better it was. It was insane. It was like you were watching. It's like you were watching 2 different shows, but like that stem from the same book material, you know?
Oh yeah.
Ahsoka and
like,
Andor. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
It's exactly that. It's like, okay, if you watched the shit one, you'll get the references in this one, but like, oof,
WandaVision and
you really wish you didn't have to watch the shit one.
WandaVision and Secret Wars. It's just like,
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about between the two.
The worst,
Even the
analogy,
fucking last episode of season 1 sucked, and that was like the cool big battle. It's like, God, fuck you and just end.
Yeah,
you know what? If you go back and listen to our initial reaction to all of these episodes, like the season 1 episodes, we were like giving it excuses. We were like up and down, like, you know, just like we are objectively about most shows like that we cover. We were just like, yeah, you know, okay, we'll see what happens. That last episode, we brought out all the guns. We was like, hey man, fuck this show. And then so everything that we gave a pass before, we were like, yo, fuck that. Nah, we fucked up the whole fucking show because this fucking last episode was supposed to be the one reason that we gave everything a pass and they fucked it up. But this episode, I mean, this season was vastly different than that. And
for sure.
Yeah, probably I'd say jumping out on a limb, top 3 action scenes in a television show like ever.
Yeah, this season has some really impressive action scenes, and this last episode, like you know, we mentioned is hard ending a thing. There's a couple of moments that I have problems with, but overall, I thought that was like really, really interesting. Surprisingly cerebral way of attacking all these stories, and it makes me more interested in the Halo lore because I didn't think that the Halo video game lore was so vast. I thought it was just like pew pew pew. Thought it was just Call of Duty, you know. But this is a lot more interesting.
It's definitely deeper than Call of Duty. Yeah, that's a good point.
But
for those who don't play games but know those cultural references,
yeah, right, yeah, like, and this is way more interesting than I thought it was. It had the potential to be. And even just the character work, which I'm sure that they diverted from the source material with stuff like Master Chief, Halsey,
Master
like
Chief.
They get way deep into these characters.
That's my nickname.
Way more than I would.
Master Chief. Shout out to Chief,
that's
man.
That's Chief Keef's cousin. You know,
that was my homegirl back in the
Toledo.
day. I know she probably not watching right now, but if you are watching, Master Chief, you was the big chief.
But yeah, I really liked a lot of things they did with this season, and the character work, and just the way that they just improved on every way. Cinematography, writing, acting. Well, acting's always been good. That's one thing that's always been pretty great. But yeah,
that's what happens when you fire everybody, baby. They fired everybody.
The guard.
So yeah, real quick on the acting though, and we've covered this in past episodes. Yeah, the actors still did a good job, but you could tell they didn't believe in the show last season.
Yep.
And so while they were still acting very well, you could just feel something was off the entire time. This season, damn.
Yeah, it's a lot of the big difference when the actors can believe the words that they're saying.
Yeah,
the
show was so bad. Show was so bad last season. I didn't even realize they were pretty people in the show.
I recognize.
No, we just recognized there's a bunch of junk in trunk.
Thank
Everybody had a bunch of
I got a new haircut.
There was nothing but donks in this entire show. For the men and the women, just donks everywhere. Just donk everywhere.
To quote Party Down, this season they're all sitting there like, I could outact you with one emotion tied behind my back. And then they did.
And they did.
And then they did.
And then they did.
Oh man.
Let it be known.
You know, honestly, my emotional attachment to Kai does have something to do with my problems with this episode. But we'll get to that later.
Well, why? I mean, she lives.
Well, you know, we'll talk about that. And then later on, in this episode, an over-eager biologist in the verdict. I mean, we're just gonna talk about this in storylines rather than
just run us down, and then we'll pick it up.
Yeah, that's
run the whole thing down. You can run the whole thing down.
That's what I'm doing. I'm just saying, like, I'm not gonna go through the storyline because we'll just be jumping back and forth.
We're gonna do that anyway. That's what. Yeah, exactly. Good job.
An overeager biologist inadvertently releases spores from the canister recovered by Halsey and Miranda, which quickly transforms the base's personnel into zombie-like creatures. So we get a Last of Us Halo crossover. This is gonna be like the Terminator and
who stole from who? That's what I want to know.
So are you saying Master Chief is Pedro Pascal?
Yep. He's also Mandalorian.
There's some Mandalorian Pedro, Halo similarities.
Pedro Master Chief. Pedro Mask.
There's an SNL sketch in here somewhere.
There's 3. At least 3.
But yeah, what did you guys think of just like this
the Mandalorian Chief?
Mandalorian Chief.
Because honestly, the zombie outbreak and the manifestation of it does remind me a lot of the last.
No, they had the spores coming out of the mouth. So that's what I'm trying to say. Like, which one came first? This is weird. Was this a thing that was in Halo?
So
you're our resident, you're our resident Halo.
I'm not going to be too much help though, because so in the first one, when you're facing off against the Flood, I remember them being like these little annoying little fuckers that are running towards you, but like they can't get into your suit, obviously. But it was just like they overwhelmed you. Like that's why they were the Flood. They just like it was literally like a tide of these little alien pricks coming at you. I know that there's a Halo comic book that did make the Flood into, I mean, like these type of zombie yerk like shit, you know. So I just don't know is the issue. I don't know if in Halo 2 or beyond if the Flood evolved, but
no pressure. The more you don't know,
the Flood was always there since the first Halo.
The more you don't know, the more you're just like us. It's okay.
I really wish we had the more you know, just pan across right there.
Oh, I'm about to get it. Dude. I meant to have that.
You also got to edit that one to have the more you don't know.
That's going to take a person with education.
What I really want is like I'm not sure if you guys remember the RoboCop Terminator 2 like crossover video game that they had back in the day. This episode just really made me want to have a Halo Last of Us video game crossover. Like where we could just have
I hate zombie game. Oh my god. It's just like
anyway. Zombie games?
Yeah. I said that.
Oh yeah.
I said it in Los Angeles. I said it.
What do you think about the zombie crossover into this world?
Because I guess it's a part of the lore, so I'm not like mad at it. I don't really feel like it much matters. It clearly has something to do with the Red Priestess that we see that took over Quan's visual shit. Yeah, Rich Homie Quan. Keep seeing her. Mm-hmm. So I think it might have something to do with that a little bit, but I feel like they put too much emphasis on that in this episode
of the actual virus.
Yeah, that should have been something that could have been popped up at the end more than it did, considering there was so much that they had to explain. Like I was more so concerned with how quickly they just did away with Diaz's and Kai's story to talk about those stories.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Perez.
No, to your point, it seemed like Pers. America. It does seem like the zombie outbreak kind of perforates all the other storylines in this episode, whereas like, oh no, this is the more important thing now. Which is funny because we haven't. This is the first time we've even heard about it.
Because it just got opened up last episode,
right?
But they're trying to lead us into something that's going to happen next season. You know, a big story that's really going to. It's not going to be a new threat. It's just that I feel like there's less going to be emphasis on the Covenant, just because they're going to realize, or they're coming to realize, that they both come from the same species, originate from the same species. But Jeff, go ahead.
Got some info. The Flood have been around since 2001. As early as the game before Halo 2, not Halo 1. There was one between the two of them. And they have always been this parasitic, as the creator called them, a fungal zombie species. So Halo got it first. The other thing, and this is interesting, and I'm going to ask you guys if you want to hear it or not, because it's a potential big spoiler. Would you guys like to hear the next bit I found out about the flood?
Yeah, because it could hit us with some theories. You know what I'm saying?
The flood are the reason the original universe-spanning species are gone. So the people that made the Halo, the people who's like the common ancestor, they're gone because of the flood.
So they were wiped out because of this species, this organism.
And they kind of hinted toward that in this episode, yeah.
How?
Yep.
Well, Hosley says when Miranda has discovered the parasite or whatever is causing the zombie outbreak, she's horrified. And Hosley is like, do you not understand that this disease or whatever has came from the society that created the Halo? So how can you completely dismiss it? It's like there's
more so
very Jurassic Park.
I felt it was more so because she was like, we need to leave, and she was like, why would you want to leave? Like, she was more playing to her fucking insanity, the same reason she didn't get off the light bridge.
No,
like
I'm saying that's not insanity. I'm saying that's the issue with science gone too far. You kept asking yourself, could we do it? Not should we?
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
she's a human embodiment of that. Now, that's
the reason that's insanity for her is that's what she's done multiple times throughout her career, and it's always
until today it worked.
It's led to something terrible every single time. And the definition of insanity. Oh no, yeah, she was just in prison at the beginning of this season. She they almost died in the end of episode 10 or into episode 8 in season 1. Like, her husband just got fucking blown to bits in this season. Like, things have not gone her way. And I'm just saying, so she's always basically given no fucks about nothing. And then guess what it ended up getting her? Infected by the flood. She's that friend of yours who was like COVID, schmovid. You know,
man,
fuck that shit.
I don't know why.
You mean that everything's closed? We ain't gotta go to work, and you don't want to go hang out and get drunk and get fucked up? Fuck people? You don't want to do that? Bam, froze. Got the goddamn vid. Got the goddamn shit, man.
Yeah, she's one of the things I like about her character is that she seems addicted to discovery. Like, she's a scientist to the upteenth degree, where she has to figure out the next thing, and to her own detriment. It's her major flaw. And she's
bitch dead.
She falls victim to the infection, and Miranda freezes her mother in stasis to stop the infection from developing any further, and promises that she will bring her back. But then we'll move on to Soren and Rich Homie Quan. They rescue Lara and Kessler and reluctantly Ackerson from the prison. But Lara stays behind because she becomes infected. And everybody becomes hip to the zombie rules really quick. I guess everybody's seen Day of the Dead.
Right.
Alex is what 6,000.
Also, Alex,
they should fucking have figured something out.
Yeah, you gotta learn.
Also, I didn't know that Alex had a writing credit on this episode. Fucking everyone getting infected is a woman.
Yeah. He's a ghostwriter for this episode.
I made some very strong suggestions.
Except Asian women.
Took them up,
Except Asian women. He made sure that Asian women have superpower and they don't get it.
He's like, they're definitely going to figure out it was me if I don't let one of them through.
Someone's going to create a really weird Wikipedia page for me. Mr. Grayson is going to have all kinds of wild shit.
Or we're going to get fucking immensely famous for this one bit, and they'll put in the Wikipedia the notes, one bit known for this bit, oh, he hates women but didn't actually hate women, but he did. I
more imagine it as a budgeting political careers just shot down the trapper.
Yeah,
really ready to make some changes in the world and turn the world better, and it all got ruined because you hate women.
I think that's the reason he's gonna win. He's gonna win because he hated women, but he doesn't hate women.
I'm gonna sneak in there. Like people who actually know who
He's
I
gonna
am
run
are gonna vote for me because I'm a good person.
The way politics works is he would get his Q rating would be high as fuck because he hates women, or because people think he hates women, and then women would vote for him at a higher clip than anybody else. Because I'm just saying that's just how politics works.
I feel like this is a movie. Like, this is a really weird rom-com.
This is Distinguished Gentleman 2.
Oh shit!
Yes.
What was the movie that a couple years ago? Jon Stewart wrote it. Steve Carell and Rose Byrne starred in it.
Oh, I heard it was bad. I didn't.
It was
watch
good.
it.
It was good, but it wasn't as funny as you thought it was going to be.
Check it out. We'll talk about that Thursday on the Bantha Bud show. But hold on, we was talking about.
Yeah, like Soren and Quan, they escape.
The
zombie outbreak.
The zombie outbreak because
irresistible.
Got the squiddy, slimy
Last of Us.
Last of Us.
People.
We got a whole nother show that did the same fucking thing.
That's true. Oh wait, before we get,
do you want to do it?
Before we get into that, because I think there were I was thinking about that earlier too. Is like, man, there's so many similarities between this and our next topic, our last topic. But before we move on to the next topic, I do want to just talk about the end of this episode, because it does end with Halo. We're on Halo now. Master Chief
great
and
stage
McKee
to fight multiplayer.
Have made it.
You're shooting on the multiplayer stage.
I one of my problems with this episode is that Kai does have this really cool sacrificial moment where she does the whatever, she does a kamikaze on the bad guys. Oh, sorry, hit this thing. She does a kamikaze on the bad guys, and she sacrifices herself to give the good guys a chance. But then Master Chief, he also crash lands, and he's totally fine. Like, he doesn't even have a scratch on him.
Alex, what do you not understand?
Yeah, because he's a man.
Because he's motherfucking man. Alex, I don't understand what you don't understand about Halo so far. I know it's been 2 seasons and you never played the game, but I just want you to understand this one goddamn thing. The nigga never dies. There's no Halo game where Master Chief died.
He's got
once you got to the end of the game, this nigga just died. No, he's got plot armor. The armor he's got different than theirs. But also, Kai is not dead, nigga.
Yeah, look, that's one of the things I was thinking. Maybe she's not actually dead.
No,
you don't think she's dead, Art?
No,
Alex.
The way here's why. It was a giant, it was a giant, I'd say rather violent explosion.
Oh, yes. And
she didn't even have a scuff on her fucking armor.
Exactly.
She was just taking a nap, floating in the ocean. Like, man, this is so relaxing. I should really get a pedicure later. Like,
it's ridiculous.
I did like the line right before she crashed into the ship. She says, "This is really gonna hurt."
Yeah, right.
Exactly, as if she knew she wasn't gonna die. I'm telling you, man.
It'd be like if Cousin Eddie at the end of Independence Day is just kind of like in a lazy river, Yeah.
Look, man, we never get. That's what I didn't like about season 1. We don't get experiences with the Spartans, so you understand the things that they're capable of, the things they're capable of surviving, the things they're willing to do, how dedicated they are to each other. Mm-hmm. We've had to get a lot of exposition to get those things, not a lot of action to show us those things.
Yeah. So you don't really get an idea of their power level.
To me, last season could have just been balls for the walls action, very little information. And then this season give us all the information as they've done, basically, because we really didn't get no information last season with all the information that they gave us. We really still don't know what the fuck was going on until this season, which is so dope and refreshing that they gave it to us the way they gave it to us. It sounds really sexual, but
Mhm.
it was refreshing.
No, to your point,
The way they
did
gave us just what we wanted.
Exactly. The way they hit it from the side, and then they turned everything upside down and pulled the wool over our eyes.
To your point, like they did a good job of establishing throughout the season. They established the power levels of the Spartans really well, because we have a few episodes where we get Master Chief outside of his armor, but we still get to see that he's basically Captain America. He's still really, really strong. He's capable of all these different things, and with the armor, that just makes him
more U.S. agent. But yeah, okay.
Oh, the shade of it all.
Just a little too dark to be Steve Rogering that shit.
Yeah, not quite Steve Rogers. But yeah, they did a good job of like establishing the power level of the characters, so you can believe that he could survive this ridiculous crash.
Before we end this segment here, I do have to let Jeff let us all know. At the end, we got Master Chief. He's been narrating the happenings of this episode. So I'm just trying to. So for us people who don't know nothing about the game, can you explain a little bit of that ending right there? Because for us, it just happens out of nowhere, right? Like I never played the game like that.
Gotcha. No. I don't know. So I remember there was a little bit of something in the first game, and man, this was a long time ago. But it was basically once you enter the Halo, the forebearers or whoever it was that created the Halo, they were talking to you. They were asking you questions, and it's, if I remember correctly, they released an attack against you because you're not answering the way they want, and they don't think that you're worthy of the Halo. So I think that's what's going on here. It's different because in the game it's just Master Chief. I mean, yeah, he's got Cortana, but with McKee being there's the forebearers or whatever are trying to decide between two people. So I think it makes it a bit more, hey, I think it makes it a bit easier for him to lose, because instead of just being like, nope, didn't answer the way we like, boop, they can also be like, well, we got this blonde chick who for some reason burned her tits last episode, and she's saying shit we really like to hear, So yeah, I think that's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see what's going on, and then you know what? If we find out more information about this shit, we will talk about it on the Bantha Bunch show.
I will be honest, that was the one thing about this episode I didn't really like. I just felt like it was a swing and a miss. Every time they come back to it, yeah, and they come back to it like a few times, and it was just like, what are you doing? This is just it's unnecessary exposition.
Yeah, if it had just made some sense at the end, it would have made, like, I just feel like that was fan service-y for real deep dive Halo users.
Agreed.
And maybe they feel like they didn't do enough of that this season. They did a lot of it the last season, but try doing less of that. Where's my camera? Do less of that. Because that's why this season was good and the first season was bad. So do less of that.
Yeah, I again, like, I feel like this was a successful season, but there's a lot of wonky shit in this last episode, and even this stuff with the guilty spark. Is that what he's called in the video games?
The little Sparky. Yeah, he's the dude from Toonami.
Yeah, right.
He's the dude from Toonami.
It felt like. To your point, it felt like they were trying to put like 4 stories. It felt like they had at least another episode's worth of script, and they're like, shit, we got to fit it all in now.
Yeah, no, it's you said 4 stories. There's Master Chief's story with and then there's McKee, then there's
Perez Kai.
Kai.
Well, that's the Perez and Kai's one.
Well, Well, Perez really has had her own walk. Well, let's just put Perez and Kai together. Then we got Bokeem.
Yeah, Bokeem and Soren.
And then
Bokeem and Layera.
And then we got Scientist and Lemsey. Yeah.
Halsey and Miranda.
Yeah, those
a
ones.
lot of shit going on.
So, and then we got motherfucking Rich Homie Quan. So look, that's why I'm petitioning right now for them to move to 10 episodes. Fuck all this bullshit.
Yeah,
agreed.
Because there's a lot of story to tell.
Because when you have to smash in zombies at the end, like, yo, you're trying too hard.
Yeah. The scientist in the beginning of the episode starting to get infected, that should have been the last quarter of the last episode.
Yeah.
But they didn't have time in that episode to do it, you know?
Yeah,
it should have last episode should have
two more episodes. Yeah.
The way they should have done the things with her getting infected is an episode should have ended with her infecting someone else. And then the next episode we go into and we start seeing it spread. But yeah, it was exactly what we've been saying.
Funky.
Long story short, we're better, hire us.
Well, as I was trying to do a really good segue earlier, speaking of zombies, it's time for us to talk about another show this week that had zombies.
Alex
and that show is going to be called... Oh, man, we got to get the Invincible thing.
Invincible what? What part?
Oh, like when Rex is talking? Yeah, I'm kind of...
Yeah, well, I was about to say,
Yeah, we do need to.
First of all, that's a staple.
Really,
first of all, that is actually, before Invincible was a TV show, that is a staple of the Drunk Banthas Drunk Reviews. So I just want to point out that that's exactly what's been happening on this show for years before the fucking Invincible show came out.
That is
true. Can I put a suggestion in on that, though?
What's that?
Instead of like Alex, you pointed out a couple episodes ago, it's clearly like showing us Invincible's new costume underneath. Instead, when it finishes, like I say, have it keep going, and then when the final piece comes down, instead of the new Invincible logo, just have it be the Drunk Banthas logo.
Yeah, I like that. That's how they did the Batman.
I am down for this.
Remember the Batman reveal when in the 89?
Oh yeah, with like the Batman poster where they just slowly revealed it. Yeah. I'd be down for that. Everybody would be so confused. I'm totally for it.
I'm here for it.
I like it even better when it looks more and more like it's a new Invincible, and then nope, Drunk Banthas.
That we probably won't be able to do. I wish. Actually, you know what? Nah, that's not gonna be. Noah, hit me up.
Scooby Dooby Doo, we got some work to do now. Yeah, to your point, there's a weird zombie through line going on with all these shows that we're talking about. In outer space, a healed and imprisoned Nolan is interrogated. No.
Literally the last part of the episode. Yeah.
The totally last. Yeah, sorry, my bad. We're gonna talk about
spoiler alert.
God damn it, where are we at?
So it starts either between the Martian ship.
Oh yeah, okay.
Or the lizard.
Well, this is all outer space stuff. So this is why I put it in this section. A healed and imprisoned Nolan is interrogated by Craig for his loyalty to Earth, while the Guardians
interrogated by who?
Craig.
For his loyalty to Earth, while the Guardians narrowly escape the Sequids and rescue the real astronaut Russ and bring him back to
Big
Earth.
Homie Russ.
What do you guys think about all these interspatial adventures? Let's talk about
interspatial.
Yeah,
interspatial.
I thought we were talking about outer space, not Mark and Amber's relationship. What's going on here?
Right. That's what I'm trying to say. I was gonna say, did Mark and Amber go to space and have sexual relations?
That'd be dope.
Nolan find a new wife.
Yeah, actually, you know what?
It's been about a half hour. He should have a new family by now.
You know what? Mark even existing is interspatial. So what am I talking about?
Yeah.
What are we talking about, Jeff? Interspatial has been happening since the beginning of this existence of this show, Alex.
Producer T, since you weren't able to join us on our last discussion. Yeah, what did you think about this episode and like the space of it all and the sequence situation?
I didn't really understand why they didn't just kill the astronaut dude. Like that would have been my first. Like, fuck them, they just killed him. Right? Everything dies. Right?
Everybody.
Like, you did a good job for your country, guy, but I would have killed him. Like I didn't.
One thing that they did a better job in the comics, before we go to art, like I think that they did a good job in the comics of showing it's like, oh, we can't just fucking kill this dude. He is an American hero. He is a human. We spent all these resources to basically save this guy. We should try to save him ultimately for this mission. The mission should be saving him. But what did you think about this whole thing? The sequence storyline.
So I agree. One part that was weird for me that I don't think was explained was when it's like, oh no, there's sequence on Rudy and Eve. We gotta, hopefully it'll recharge and we can get him up. Why don't you just kill the fucking sequence on Rudy and Eve? Literally the first thing done on the ship is Bulletproof just like, oh, boop, and it explodes. Why not just like reach over and go and kill the fucking thing? I did not get that part to save my life. Other than that, it's a really
was he?
Yeah. That was his name.
Was he that in the comic book, or was he just that was what they gave him in
I don't know if they actually named him in the comic books, but when I was writing the scripts earlier, and I looked it up on the Invincible comic Wikipedia.
Sorry.
It was listed as Komodo Dragon.
Sorry, I don't get to tell that joke often.
This story was like in the comic books, it's a little bit easier to accept certain things like this because it's all still frames. You don't know the geography of the situation. You don't know how far away people are. You can't just like say, well, why don't you just like fucking grab this guy or just do this thing, because it seems like everything is situational. Like you don't really know how far away everybody is. But with like the animated series, it's like it's very easy to just be like, why don't you just kill that guy? Why don't you just grab that sequid and the situation would be.
It looks like we're sitting close together, but we're actually really far away from each other.
Actually 3 miles apart.
Yeah. So
it's like a side view mirror. Like objects may be closer than they
are. Yeah, exactly.
But then when we get back, like you said, with Rex, we got the cliffhanger with Rex getting the gun pointed to his head, and he actually gets shot in the fucking head.
It's shot in the fucking head.
Somebody to come in and save him at the last minute, and then just the whole.
They decided to go a different route.
Oh man, no, I totally thought he was gonna get shot in the dome. Him coming back to life was trippy, but I was like, he kind of got plot armor too. Just knowing what I know, it's just like, well, he got a little bit of plot armor too. So
but they did this one better than the comics, because in the comics, I mean, like at least in this one, it's coming out like right here. The comics, it comes out of the fucking center of his skull.
It's inexplainable.
Like, shit. Well, at least this one's like, oh, King Lizard's a shit shot, even when he's right against that.
Right.
And it's like, well, Rex ain't gonna be able to add too good, but he can still live.
I think there's a level of, at least in this universe and on this show, there's a level of like, these guys have immense power beyond what they even use.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because Omni-Man stays on Earth and like starts a family and waits out, basically trying to like wipe out each and every threat to Earth before the Viltrumites can take it over, before he decides to take it over. It's because he felt like there were people who could actually try to like come up against him and like stop him and stop the Viltrumites. So I think that there's a situation where some of these characters don't know how to use their powers to the fullest extent, and we no spoilers, but there are characters that we have that aren't, they haven't reached that power level yet.
Well, look
they
at
haven't hit the 5 yet.
Look at the special Adam Eve episode. Even in that one, she goes from a base level and then unlocks and gets more powerful.
Right, exactly. And I just, maybe that's the same thing for Rexplode. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, I feel like the comic and the show continues to have these really great examples of just like the human spirit, like how it's able to overcome these really insurmountable obstacles, and they do it in the most graphic and awesome way on the show. But I feel like there's a lot of examples that they've done on the show, and I'm sure we'll get in the future that shows just how great humans are at overcoming these great obstacles.
Really great at it.
And speaking of humans and trying to overcome obstacles, Debbie decides to raise Mark's half brother and names him Oliver. Which was the name of her dad, right? That's what.
Yeah, it's the name of her dad. And thank God, because dude, in the comics, there's like 5 fucking issues where you're just like, Mark's little brother. Can you give him a fucking name? Mark's little brother.
Long. Yeah. It's like Dragon Ball Z long, like Dragon Ball Z Spirit Bomb long.
I had to come up with some really fun ways to describe that little fucker.
And despite her suspicions of Cecil, she accepts this whole storyline with him getting ingratiated with human life. T.
Just like looking at this little purple ass Mark mini Mark. So but I'm still trying to figure out what Cecil's whole angle is. No, he's not like really trying to be like, he's like, oh cool, we got another half Viltrumite on this shit, man. Gotta train him up and make sure he's on our team because that's a powerful. It's like Cecil has his own goals of how he keeps trying to give Debbie this help. It's like, you're still trying to spy on her, bro. And then like for like that first lady to come in and her throw her out, be like, oh, you're a spy. I know it. Damn you, Cecil. And then
what do you mean,
spy? Is it cool? For her to be like, oh, I guess it's cool. It's like, all right, I guess. They could have maybe segued it in a little better, but we'll see. I see what the mom is going through, but damn, she's like really at that phase of where she wants to. She's not taking this empty nest thing at all, right? And so like this little baby's kind of like a blessing for her. So I guess she needs this. So let her have it.
Yeah, it's a kind of a blessing in disguise where she's able to nurture this person in Oliver and raise him, and I like what they're doing with Cecil, where he does seem like he's sincere and he has a lot of good points as far as Oliver's like assimilation with Earth life, but also you imagine that he has his own motivations and trying to mold him. How did you feel about this whole Debbie raising little alien bastard kid?
The bug bastard.
It really has not hit me like that. I feel everything that y'all talking about, like great points, but it hadn't hit me like that. To me, it almost doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, it's comic books, so shit, like fuck yeah, some shit like this happened. Yeah, you goddamn right, some shit like this happened. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I look at it. Like, no, it doesn't surprise me. Any of this, nothing is shocking. What was shocking to me though was the fact that she kept the baby. Like, she knows that the babysitter is still with the company. But I'm still gonna rock with you anyway.
Right? Yeah,
like,
exactly.
That kind of just made the whole situation just stupid. Yeah. like why not just? So we was just gonna do what you was gonna do anyway. So who really won?
So I disagree with you on that one because I think it's 2 things. I think one, teacher lady admits it before Debbie even can ask, and 2. I think she pointed out something really important. She has like the most experience when it comes to teaching super children, more than anyone else on earth. And so the thing is, because of that, man, she can be in demand wherever the fuck she wants to go. So yeah, she's working with Cecil, but it's because in her mind, that's the best way to help other super children, not to be a spy. Like, I think she made a really strong argument there.
That's interesting. Yeah, and you know, it could just be like a really good story to win her over, but
that's the other part. Yeah, if she's a good enough spy.
Yeah, like I think there's a lot of different like cool layers there.
I'm not saying that all that makes sense. I'm just saying that we would already end up at point B. Why did we have to talk about C, D, E, F, and G?
Right.
We already was gonna go from A to B. So why were you talking about that, baby?
Can we also point out that I guess Debbie's original plan was put a little Mrs. Doubtfire ad in the paper, have people come over and be like, "Man, I hope they don't notice he's purple."
Right.
That was my other thing.
Right?
Really auditioning people with this purple child? How did you?
If you're not going through Cecil, how do you think that's gonna work?
She put an ad in the paper hoping that Omni-Man would show back up.
Yeah.
Like,
she just
wanted nanny, fast-growing boy, prerequisites must be colorblind.
He trying to get his kids back. Just
can't see the color purple. Yeah.
He misses
hoping that Tajari
Oh
P.
my
Henson
God.
from Benjamin Button shows up.
Now I'm much more hoping we get Arrested Development, Mrs. Featherbottom, Omni-Man coming in.
It's Featherbottom.
Oh, I forgot. Here in America, it's a sausage in your mouth.
Oh my!
But then later on, like we get after Invincible and the whole Guardians crew come back to Earth after the Sequid situation is resolved. Rex recovers with the reaniman tech, but remains traumatized. I guess
I'm joking.
And we'll definitely see later on in later episodes how his tech has enhanced his body. But what did you think about this scene between Rex and Mark? Because they both kind of progressed a lot. Rex has matured a lot as the season as the series has progressed. What did you guys think of this hospital scene?
Let Terry go. Terry ain't been,
Terry was sitting back for a while.
Terry's been like, "Get to my show, fuck."
I thought it was a real sweet scene of them, like, because Rex kind of like gave him the shit as soon as he joined the team, so they really haven't been like too cool. So like, for him to be like, "Hey man, I know I'm all fucked up right now, but you look like you're going through it, man. You don't have to what's up? Talk to me." So I thought that was a nice little olive branch that he gave him.
Yeah, it was super sweet, and I think that Rex is becoming one of my favorite characters on this show.
Oh yeah, just that first fight scene, just Rex showing him he is that dude. Just like you beat him. Did he beat that man to death with his like little?
Yeah, with his amputated hand. Yeah, like he beat him
to death with that broken hand.
I don't think he beat him to death, but bro ain't standing up anytime soon.
Yeah. And we were talking about Gambit earlier with X-Men. This is the Gambit of this universe. He even has like the weird like head condom, which I really appreciate.
That's even funnier because I just thought like, but Gambit's is open, so is it like a fingerless condom?
Yeah, it's the baby condom. It's just completely useless.
That's to check and make sure she didn't poke holes in it. Yeah.
But then moving right along to the next part of the episode, Mark and Amber's relationship becomes strained when both realize that the toll that Mark's work as Invincible has taken on.
We talked about on this show.
Feelings for Mark begin to resurface.
We talked about it on this show.
By the way, how fucking stupid was the scene when Mark picks up the coffees? 2 broken hearts. Fuck you. Good God.
Yes.
Just lay it on as heavy as you can. But then also Mark doesn't even address it. Eat a dick. No.
No, I saw it. What are you about to? What are you about to do?
No. Go ahead.
I'm like, what you about to do? No, the hearts in the fucking bugs. We always were watching. I was like, they got no hearts. Look at them hearts. They about to break up because we talked about it last week. It's like, yo, do you feel like this is going in the wrong direction? You know what I mean? Like
the direction we think is going.
Yeah, and we all knew, those who have watched, who have read the comics or know the lore of the comics, that this relationship was not going to last. But I wasn't expecting it to happen as quickly as they've made it happen, considering how they built this character up in the last season and in the first part of this second season.
Yeah. One thing that I thought during this scene was
You didn't see that coming?
because I was really like, one of the things I like about the these relationships is Amber does feel like the Mary Jane, where it's like, oh, this is my tether to normal life. Which honestly, like when as a Spider-Man fan, I've been more of a fan of Black Cat and Peter Parker because
He
seems like that seems like, but
that doesn't work.
But the Black Cat Peter Parker relationship is what the Adam Eve Mark relationship is in this, where she's also a vigilante, and they have more of a connection. In
Butts are for flagellants and defecation, sir. That is all it is for.
The difference is Eve is a much more open and caring person, whereas Felicia, she's way
selfish.
too Selena Kyle. I'm first. I'm first.
Yeah.
I'm first, second, and third. You know.
Yeah, no.
That is the difference there for sure.
What's her name is definitely Mary Jane.
That being said, Felicia's way hotter than Eve.
No, Eve is Mary Jane in this situation.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, so then does that make Amber Gwen Stacy?
I feel like Amber is Gwen Stacy.
Amber is Gwen Stacy.
But I feel like Eve is a combination of Mary Jane and Felicia, in the sense that like she has the part where she can relate with him with the vigilante side, but also is his one true love.
Well, that does help. But T, what do you think about this? What do you think about this nonsense that we just said?
No, I agree. Like Amber, I just that whole time of them talking to each other, I was like, "Would you two break up? Like, come on, this is like your first girlfriend. This ain't your wife or nothing. Like, you're a superhero, bro. You can't be having like, you can't be dating no regular girls like this no more. Like, you what are you doing, bro? Hurry up and just break. I'm rooting for this breakup. I want it to hurry up and happen. You know."
Yeah, we were the same way off pod.
Yeah.
Like, yo, let's just get to the shit real quick. This bitch clearly doesn't matter no more. Like, we've already gone past her usefulness in the comic books. Like, let's just go ahead and drop her. But not in the sense that we're disrespectful towards women, just in the sense that we know that that's not who he's going to end up with.
It is still Women's History Month.
Man, look at Bill being a good brother and trying to keep Alex out of the fire.
I was trying to keep myself out of the fire.
She ain't no ride or die human like Debbie, you know. So
absolutely,
that's just
it's a lot, and she's still young. And like to your point, like
way too young for this.
We've all been young and thought that your 19-year-old love or whatever, or your crush or whatever is gonna be forever. Like,
we were so fucking cringy.
I did not. I never thought those things.
All right, I mean, but yeah, like, a lot of people, just like very young and ambitious, and just like you think that it's like, oh, this is gonna be the rest of my life. This is the love of my life. Right,
it's like the guys who made Mad Max. The first one, that ambition, that that sense of like, oh, it's all I have to do is just make this movie, and everything
else will work out fine.
Exactly, everything.
I mean, to George Miller's point, it ended up worked out really well for him.
It did.
But yeah, like I like the depiction of these young people in love, making really bad decisions.
Yep.
Based on like not knowing what their future is gonna look like.
Yep. Not wearing condoms.
But I also like how it's shorter. It's much shorter than it was in the comics. As far as like them getting to the realization that maybe they're not gonna work out.
You feel like it was shorter?
Yeah.
I mean, in comparison to how much they've moved up everything.
Well, in comparison,
that's what I'm talking about.
Everything they've shortened, and including.
So
this,
that's what I'm saying. So that's what I say. It happened a little faster than I thought it would because they've moved everything up. So it's hard to judge like what's happened faster than the other. You know what I mean? But I got one thing that I want to ask y'all if you think is going to happen this season. But Terry, I'm gonna throw it to you. Or I thought somebody was about to say something, so I'm just saying Terry because I don't know who was about to say something.
Terry, you about to say something?
What? Okay. So no, nobody was about to say anything. Cool.
Just agreeing with Alex, if that might be what you were thinking of.
Maybe. I heard voices.
Hey, we all got opinions on the Invincibles, and also Zoom delays make things really, really tough. Zoom. And speaking to their relationship woes, while they're both dealing with their relationship issues, Amber and Mark. Amber speaks to Eve, while Mark speaks to Rosenbaum, played by Luke Skywalker.
That's how I knew it was over.
And Rosenbaum reveals that Nolan previously wrote several unsuccessful sci-fi novels, which Mark learns potentially reveals Viltrumite's weaknesses. And then he relays this information to Alan the Alien, great name, who tells him about Thaddeus's betrayal of the Viltrumites and how he's gonna be standing against Viltrum.
Man, what do you guys really like Thaddeus better.
So real quick, before we even get to that part where he goes and meets with Alan the Alien, Cecil, how fucking stupid are you? You're sitting there trying to convince the immortal to go on a vacation because he's just fucked up mentally, and you're like, huh? Oh, alien threat coming to Earth? Yeah, put it on the screen right in front of the guy that's having a mental breakdown. Fucking moron.
Learn how to read the room, bro.
Dude, it's just like, and then you're surprised that he's just gonna fly off and get in a fight. Dude wants to hurt. You dumb shit.
Dude wants to hurt.
That was an interesting.
Say it again.
That was an interesting scene where you can see he's just rearing for a moment to interact with Omni-Man again, and when he's not there, he's just like kind of heartbroken. It's like super, super sad. It's one of the sad, like low-key sad moments of the episode. But what did you think of like the reunification of Alan the Alien and
hold on. We didn't even just talk about the books and shit. You wouldn't even talk.
Let me finish my sentence. Like, what did you think about the reunification of Mark and Alan the Alien and the discovery of the books and everything?
Well, you just had already mentioned the books, so that's why I was like,
I know I'm bringing it back around because I'm doing this host thing.
Producer T, how did you feel about the books? Book revelation.
They're cool. So I feel like was talking about his previous adventures as a Viltrumite and all the other planets he's come across and stories that they know about. He was trying to like make that happen.
Show some respect.
Savage Planet.
Savage Planet. Oh man, I remember when that came out. No, I'm joking. Dude, it almost looks like some Venture Brothers shit. Does it not?
Really
right?
Does, yeah.
I loved that. Like they're sitting there like, I wonder if this is about Dad. And it's like, did you look at the cover? He put himself on the fucking cover. Arrogant piece of shit.
I will only give them a pass on that because they have gone through some serious PTSD. Like they are recovering.
Yeah.
Like they have literally gone through some fucking crazy shit. Especially Mark, who's literally basically died 3 times thus far.
Yeah, he's got his ass.
Just rub a little, rub a little dirt on it, man.
Well, yeah, put some icy hot on it, god damn it, and get your ass up.
And for whatever
Vapor
reason,
rub.
Nolan never told his family about these novels, or never told Mark about the novels. You'd think that this would be a thing that you tell your kids about, right?
No, he told like he knew about the novels. It's just like anything else that you have when you have a kid.
No,
they don't give a fuck.
He knew about He knew about his dad's travel books. He didn't know his dad was a sci-fi writer.
Yeah, no, he did. Yeah, he did.
It seemed like he was like,
no, he didn't, because that's what Luke Skywalker told him. He was like, your dad didn't just write travel books.
Mark was like, oh, really?
That was a revelation to him, like writing the sci-fi books.
So like, not to get too into the comic side of it, but like in the comic books, he even like when he goes to art and he's like, yeah, Dad said to go read his books. Why would he want me to read a bunch of travel books?
Right, yeah, and that's what brings him to the sci-fi books. One thing that I thought was kind of funny was the reveal of Thaddeus of being a Viltrumite. And this happened the end of the last episode, but
I was gonna say
where he rips off his beard and he shows that he has a mustache.
I like the idea. I like the idea that it was a real beard and he's just so Viltrumite strong he just tore it the fuck off.
Yeah, he just ripped all of his facial hair off into one rip.
Just like whoop, whatever.
I actually like that idea more. But yeah, he's
fucking.
Oh my god, we skated over the best facial hair part of the episode. When Alan is translating for Mark and he's like, yeah, Mark said I'm a friend. Chill out. He also said your facial hair is stupid. You're missing the best part. This part right here.
You're missing the best part. This part. That was pretty good.
That was hilarious. It was definitely the funniest line in this episode.
Dude, Alan is a very close second to my favorite right after Rexplode. And it's probably just because Rex gets so much more screen time.
Yeah.
Man. That is a good question.
Yeah, guys, put in the comments, Rex or Alan.
Because I do like Rexplode a lot. But only because I know he's gonna grow.
We saw it today.
We did.
He's a grower, not a shower.
I feel the pain.
Gross. Didn't need to know all of that.
I got something to point out when they
go ahead.
Beginning and showed Shrinking Ray's all messed up, Rex is messed up, and there's just bodies and bodies of duplicate. I still don't get why she doesn't have like a secret one hidden somewhere.
No, that is a great point. You brought that up last week. You brought that up last week, and man, we have not talked about that enough today. We should definitely talk about that more often in this show.
I also think the more interesting part of that scene isn't that, but that he's literally holding a bloody scrap of her as opposed to any of the full fucking body.
Well, I mean, look,
there's enough of them. There was at least 30.
Hey,
let me find
Alex,
one that has his face intact.
Alex,
I will say the part he was holding had the number on there, so it was the titty.
I'm trying to tell you, man, he's into that. Look, Immortal's over there just like this. I'm into that.
You're gonna have this butt cheek. This is my favorite butt cheek.
Hey, when you leave, you mind turning the lights off? He's like, well, you pretty far away from the light switch. I'm into that.
I can't stand up right now.
Yeah, I don't want nobody to see all this erection.
You want to see an immortal? You want to see an immortal erection? No. Turn the lights off.
Last forever. That's why they call it immortal.
Okay, I got an immortal duplicate question. So at the funeral, he mentions that Kate said it was a family curse that she can duplicate. Two things to that. One, do you guys remember anything about that being said earlier? Because I don't. And two, how's that a fucking curse? The curse is I have superpowers and can just bloop, 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 bloop.
Well, I will say
you're right. That was only addressed in the comic book because when he said it, I didn't think twice about it. But then I was like, oh, Right now, you say, I was like, oh yeah, that was a comic thing only, huh?
I don't remember it even in the comic.
It was
No,
one of those like
they
it was one of
explained
those.
it about like how it was a Chinese curse, like it was like her great grandfather was supposed to get cursed like
her and
generations, and one's supposed to have too much, so they would basically starve to death because he would have too many mouths to feed.
Okay.
Yeah, her and her brother. Yeah, I feel like we're gonna get, and especially how important her character ends up being in this. I would expect we get an Adam Eve type episode before the next season. That'll be just like
episode 0.
Yeah, like and they have a lot of different like issues like that. Like they have a Brexplode one, they have a Peaceful one. Like I feel like we're gonna get those a lot between seasons.
You know what I think they should do?
Backstory.
Honestly, to save a lot of save face. Because what's going to happen down the road, in my opinion, is there's too much. This shit is too dense. There's too much to talk about. So trying to do a season to season is going to fuck it up. I think they need to split it open like The Boys, and like there's a Gen V situation because no spoilers, but
so do like a teen team thing, almost showing them all before they became the new Guardians.
No, like. Just using the actual. What is that funny? No, I burped. That's why it seemed funnier than it was. No,
it just seemed like you were just like fuck Teen Team.
No. It was just more so to the fact that they have, for instance, Robot and Monster Girl. They have a storyline that has not even almost come into play. That, if I'm not mistaken, if everything was going according to plan, they would be in that moment at least somewhere close to this by now, right?
They're compressing some stuff, but like that's gonna happen in a while.
The only thing from the comic that would have happened by now is their movie date, where Rudy has to do some quick thinking to convince the teller that his dad said he's of age. You know?
Yeah,
that's the only Monster Girl Rudy thing we've missed so far.
Yeah.
With all that said, that's going to be a whole different show. That's not, you know what I mean? Like, that's not, if you're really thinking about it, there's no way you can do that show in a, 10 episode format, 12 episode format. Like that storyline, like I said, without any spoilers, that storyline in itself is just its own show. So I think you'll see like a break off, like you were saying, like in between seasons type thing. Maybe it's a season 3, season 4 type thing, but I think it's coming faster than we think it's going to come, because the way this show has gone so far, the little things that you don't see or you're not paying attention to, they end up being a little bigger later.
Yeah.
And so they've been showing this like split or angst in Monster Girl and Robot subtly, like, yo, like, don't be hovery, like, don't be weird, don't make the shit weird, them getting into shit. So I don't know. I'm interested to see how they end up splitting that and other stories. You know what I'm saying? Not just, there's so many other stories that you could take a lot of these characters and make spinoff TV shows anyway.
Yeah, the world is really vast, and even in the comics, they ended up having a lot of a split off comics. They had a Guardians the Globe comic, and there are a lot of different intergalactic characters that they would interact with that also had their spinoff comics. Which, like, I wouldn't put it past them to do something like that. Like, they even interact with like Spawn and Savage Dragon, which I really hope that we get Spawn and Savage Dragon. And
there's not a chance for getting Spawn.
I hope. Can we get at least Savage Dragon? I would love
Savage Dragon would be way more likely.
Man, I just want Battle Beast right now.
Let's make Battle Beast back too.
Let's make up a storyline so we could just have Battle Beast come back. Like, I don't actually.
Well, shit. With how they jump around, you might get him tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not mad at that, but
they do some big.
I feel like that
jumps.
wouldn't make any sense, but I'm not mad at it at the same time.
Considering, like we mentioned with the title card at the beginning, they're definitely going to be moving things pretty fast for like how much time we have left in the season. But let's talk about that.
How much time do we have left? 2 episodes?
Jeez. 3 episodes because it ends on 8, right?
Nigga, I don't know.
No, 2 episodes. 2 episodes because it's 6. Yeah, so 2 episodes left. And this, I hate it when I am attacked by a zombie spore on my home planet.
If you have a Segwid,
how did they not X-ray that man?
Thank you.
If you have a Segwid cure, we'll be a sponsor for your Segwid cure. With Drunk Banthas, we'll be your sponsor for that.
Yeah, we have Segwid repellents here.
Yeah,
no, he would not have been going home for at least 2 weeks. Like, sorry, bro,
right?
You're fucking quarantined.
Yeah, we gotta do so many tests.
Fucking
like
everything about that part made no sense. Also, like his apartment's a mess. No, it wouldn't be. You want to know why? Because Cecil's team would have been combing over every fucking inch of it to see, like, hey, did Martians like leave like some weird funky poop?
What's man been doing in here?
They would have been investigating the fuck out of that, just trying to figure out, like, hey, like, I don't know, like, is there like leftover radiation if you're around a Martian too long? But they would have done all that. Like, no.
Yeah, that's one of the parts that kind of fell through the cracks because they had those kind of moments in the comics, but they also weren't like Cecil wasn't really aware that Homeboy was a Martian. Like everything was more of a surprise. So like knowing that he already knew that, he would have had like round the clock surveillance on his place. They would have been cleaning up any kind of evidence. At least make the place look nice for the nigga when he gets back. You know?
Also, just like that,
didn't know he was gonna live.
It's like
I had no idea he was gonna live.
The previous Martian had.
What's that?
Remember that hobo kid the previous Martian was like taking care of?
Oh yeah, she's right. She's just that. It's cool.
I thought you said homo kid, and I was just gonna ignore you. I thought you said homo kid. I was just gonna be like,
hey, you don't know. You don't know. She might be a part of the community. It's cool.
I was just gonna sit here and wait till somebody else.
Y'all gonna say something about what T just said?
But yeah, say I'm sure someone out there is going to be like, well, maybe Sequids don't show up on an X-ray. They would have done every possible fucking test. They would have waited until Ray was strong enough and healed up to shrink down and go inside that motherfucker. They would not have taken a chance.
Because I like where you're going with that. Unless Cyril was like, let's see how bad things can get, and let's see, because he's still trying to test Mark to see how bad or how vulnerable Viltrumites are.
I don't think he would have taken that chance with the Sequids, just based on how freaked the fuck out he was.
Remember, that's what he did with the kaiju.
Yeah,
that's what he did. Like, we've seen that he's been doing this, like the seawater kaiju that Mark beat up. He ended up capturing it, not having it destroyed, which is what you do, because he noticed that it hurt Mark. I can't remember what it was in season 1, but they ended up keeping something.
The Reaniman.
Okay.
Yeah.
D.A. Sinclair.
There you go. And so, so they are building things up to try to be able to figure out ways, not just necessarily harm Mark in the future, which I think they keep ominous for, television purposes, but I think they're doing it so that they can make sure that they're prepared for the Viltrumite war to surely come in some point in time, because they've been targeted. They've been painted.
Military doing military.
The Viltrumite said, I want you. Said, I like you. And I want you.
Yeah, military doing military shit. Like, they see a threat out there.
Film Age's comment makes a lot of sense based on what Bill was just saying.
Not reading any of that. Oh. What is it saying?
Film Age says, what if he's not in his actual apartment? It's like a containment room.
Okay, I can get behind that.
Like kind of like Steve Rogers in the last scene in Captain America: First Avenger, where he's like,
except they don't have stupid radio programs like an idiot. By the way,
where he has the sequin come out. And he's
Film Age is saying like, what if like that's not his apartment, but Cecil set up like a big open air, a big area that Russ can go in and think. Right. And now Cecil's observing the sequence.
Man,
yeah,
that would be some Cecil like. Classic Cecil.
Always up to some shit like
that.
He used to do that in high school.
I'm also glad that you brought up the kaiju in Atlantis, because something I was thinking of when I was watching this episode. Why'd Mark have to wear that like breathing thing in Atlantis? He can fly into space just fine.
He can,
but
he doesn't need to breathe.
Well, they didn't mention that he does need to breathe. He can just like hold his breath for like months on end if he needs to.
So why did he need the mouth thing in Atlantis?
Maybe it's just a comfort thing.
Yeah.
Wasn't because he was talking with his mouth in the device, and when he's in space, he's like,
Producer T. Producer fucking T.
What he was doing. I was like, but when he was in space, he wasn't
taking it back. I'm taking my shit back. Okay. All right. Okay.
Well done.
Yeah, that was a quick answer too. Damn.
Well done. But let's talk about the real ending of this episode. The shit that's really gonna have some implications for things to pop off for the rest of the season. Angstrom Levy is back.
Wait a minute. We're just gonna skip over the jail.
Oh yeah, that's right. I mentioned it at the beginning for a second on accident.
Yeah, we said a lot of stuff at the beginning
with Craig.
Like Craig
for the
right.
Yeah, they definitely imprison a lot of different kind of people. And
the yellow one's the best. The yellow one just doing push-ups. I just laughed real fucking hard at that guy.
What did you think of this? Like this scene between Craig and Nolan, where he's interrogating him about his humanity.
His
the same
body,
thing.
right?
Which is even
I'm gonna play it real quick.
When you see the fucking voice actor, we could see.
All right, let me. Yeah, I know the voice actor. That's what is upsetting as fuck.
Yeah, moment on that would embody the robustness of that voice a little bit more, but I don't know. I don't know what it was about this character. I didn't think the voice matched the face. Like to your point.
I want to point out that I think that Nolan is pretending.
Yeah,
like I think that he really could just fuck these dudes up if he wanted to. He's just trying to take some kind of like, what do you call it? Like a walk of shame. Like he feels like he deserves this.
I don't think it's a walk of shame. I think he knows he's got to give Mark time to get stronger.
Or maybe
because remember what they said at the beginning. They won't execute him until he's back to full strength.
Right. I just think that at this point right here, you could be right. And maybe he doesn't want to be at full strength yet or he doesn't want them to know he's at full strength because he wants to give Mark time. I think he doesn't want them to know he's at full strength because he wants them to just go ahead and, get this over with, man. Go ahead and kill me.
But they won't. They won't kill him until he's at full strength. That's the problem.
He is an interesting character in that sense. Like you really don't know where his head is at in that sense. Like it is definitely very open to.
I feel like we get more right now than we've ever gotten as far as what he's thinking or how he feels at this point in the comic or the TV show.
Yeah, like it's definitely like open to interpretation where like he's got a lot of shit going on where he's got a lot of guilt, but also a sense of purpose to help his son and
glorious
everything. So it's hard to really gauge where his head is at. But do you guys have any like theories about what's gonna happen?
Yeah, Terry,
next
Did we ask Terry how he felt about the prison?
Oh yeah. Sorry, my bad, Terry. Like, how do you feel about like this? This.
How do you feel about prison?
Craig, do you feel like?
No, I started it because I was curious about who the fuck are all these other aliens and stuff, and like.
Oh yeah. I should have gone back. Alex was telling me
but
to stop doing it.
Yeah, I think Nolan's kind of faking it. He's hiding his strength. He's, but I don't know why. Yeah, maybe he's trying to like delay it for Mark or something else. But yeah, he's definitely stalling. He's stalling for something.
Yep. Like he's Russian. He's totally Russian. Got a good mustache for a Russian for stalling.
Yeah.
Stalling.
Yeah, he's Russian, but he's not Russian. You know, it's like he's taking his time. Yeah, like it is interesting. Like you don't know if he's taking his time or if he's like using this as penance, like you said. We'll see what happens later on in the season.
Yeah. If he comes back next episode with a crown of thorns, definitely take it.
Yeah. You can take that visual semblance as it is.
Know where he's going with that one.
Any final thoughts on Invincible before we close things out?
Got any
guys?
theories? Any thoughts?
Mr. T?
Huh?
Any thoughts or theories?
No.
No thoughts or theories?
No.
Art? Any thoughts or theories?
This is what I caught up to. This issue. So,
nice.
In a general sense, I have read past this issue, but it was so long ago, I just don't remember what comes immediately after this or anything like that. Oh wait, no, I've got theories.
Oh shit,
he's got theories.
I mean, it's just based off the last scene we saw. It's going to be Angstrom Levy going after Mark, right? Like that's the only thing that can really.
Yeah.
That has to be what's next. Yeah. Yeah. The only other thing I had was when Craig was like, "Oh, these Earthlings, how could they do this to him?" or blah blah blah. It was just I was wondering, like, okay, is that his way of saying they're not going to give Mark the 100 years? They're going to show up earlier, but I just don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, as a guy who's like read I know where the story's going, but I'm very excited to see what you guys think was going to happen next in the comments. Please let us know what you think is going to happen next. We only got
Terry,
3 episodes left.
No, you guys said it. Two
episodes. Yeah, 2 episodes. Yeah, sorry, 2 episodes.
I have no idea how many episodes ever in any show. And as a matter of fact, when we're not covering a show and the shit ends, I have to Google it and afterwards and figure out whether or not that was actually the last episode.
Bill, just so you know, there are no more episodes of Halo, so you're good.
Oh yeah. I already Googled that. I already Googled that.
X-Men 97 will have 10.
Oh yeah. That's a good
10. Damn.
Yep.
What? Okay. You think that's a lot?
And Shogun will have 10.
It's a lot for what we've
been tonight's episode will be episode 6 of Shogun.
Man, season 2 of X-Men had 30 episodes. So we're talking about like 90 episodes between season 1 and 2. Easy.
I mean, yeah, things have changed, but I didn't have to cover it back then. That's the only
Oh man, I wish we did, dude. You know how easy it'd be able to cover something if we got content for 90 episodes, man. God, I wish. Those were the days.
Bill, season 1 and 2 had 13 episodes.
Which one had 30 episodes?
No clue.
It might be one of those things where they bunch.
No, yeah, because on Disney it says that one of them has 30 episodes. One of them has 30, and then 2 of them plus, it's like 30. It's 60 in like 3 seasons.
Like 16 walls.
16
I just
walls.
Well done. Well done.
I just like telling us that super joke. Before we get out of here, Art, you want to tell the people where they can find you on the interwebs?
Oh, of course. You can always try and Skype me. Don Cheadle's driveway at littledickie2.com. It's because of the hackers.
Oh man,
hackers. Yeah, dude, it's all over me, man. All right, Jeff Madel on Facebook, at Madel Jeff on Instagram. I'm going to be dropping more and more Invincible comic videos throughout this season, and then we're going to start going over to some other comic books I'm very excited about, including one that people have started calling the next Invincible. So that's going to be a really fun universe.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, so good. Other than that, honestly, the easiest way to find me is just come back here on Monday nights and watch me talk shit.
Yeah, guys, definitely check out the Invincible video that is over at Nerds at Night. You can find the description find the link in the video description probably tomorrow.
I don't know.
If you're watching this live, because I'm not going to do it right now. But I'll definitely add it later on.
Why not?
But you guys should definitely check that out. It's a really great video, and I love just descriptions of the comics. But Producer T, where can people find you on the interwebs?
You can find me, as always, on my Instagram, Gary F Photos, or on my other Instagram at tpensco. And you can pick up this nice little pen that I have on my store.
Dude, that's such a badass one.
Ooh, that's
so good.
One run of it. That's about it. I still have a video for Black History Month. I never made the other part, but there's one part on there. Some of our best viral moments and Black history of memes and viral videos. So check that out on our YouTube for Nerds at Night. Yeah, it's on Nerds at Night.
Yes,
sir. Yeah, like I really liked part one of that series. Like, man, it's so funny and so insightful and so nostalgic. Like especially when it got to the chocolate rain part of the video, I was like, yo, I'm like totally in. I remember this shit. Like, so yeah, guys, definitely check out that video and all the different content that we got on Nerds at Night. Bill, anything you wanted to tell the people about what you got coming up on the Banthas Bunch?
The Banthas Bunch.
The Banthas Bunch.
It's the Bantha Bunch, Alex. The Bantha Bunch.
Fuck me.
Dude, I can't wait till like 3 years from now when this is a whole Berenstain Bears bullshit.
Look, Alex is we're from Birmingham, Alabama, and Alex has just been he's just gotten a little bit inebriated, and he's now pronouncing things like we do in the South when we pronounce it with
plural where it's not supposed to be.
In Birmingham, Alabama.
But this is the drunk Banthas. So
that's what I'm saying. And therefore nobody's judging. I'm just explaining the plurals. You know, everything becomes Banthas bunches.
So
crystal becomes crystals.
Yeah, crystal becomes crystals.
So, you know, hey, it's
like
cool.
Castles.
People can just check out the Birmingham Bantha bunches.
Exactly. Now, hey, this motherfucker might be from Birmingham. Sound like he's from Birmingham.
Tuesdays.
No, yeah, you can. Excuse me. So sorry. You can find me on the Bantha Bunch show with your boy Bill Urquhart every Thursday, 7 p.m. Pacific time. But you know what? It's only available for the public for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, month of March.
Yeah, month of March. So in April, no more freebies for you guys.
No more freebies.
No,
the genie says.
No. Is that what the genie says for it?
Yeah, he said in Aladdin.
No, right. This is the last one then.
So this is the last one?
The last one.
All right.
It's the 26th.
Last free hit.
Sad story. It's going out.
This is sad music.
We done with it.
That dealer's got to get that money.
Gotta get this money. So yeah. If you want to join us every week after this Thursday, just go to the join button, hit the little button somewhere around here, click it. It's only 99 cents a month. If you can't do that, go ahead, like, subscribe, and you'll stay in touch with everything that we doing all the time. You know what I'm saying? We still giving great content. It just so happens that the best content is on the members only, but you know what I'm saying? It's okay. Yeah.
The real show's behind the curtain.
You also can check us out on the Drunk Banthas at Instagram, at Drunk Banthas on Instagram, at drunk_Banthas on Twitter, which is where the majority of you are watching right now. Yeah, I think that's it. Alex, cover the rest of the bases if I forgot something.
Yeah, for sure. Guys, thank you so much for watching the Drunk Banthas podcast. We do this every Monday at 8 p.m. Pacific time. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you can get updates on new videos. Consider subscribing to the paid membership so you can get exclusive content like the weekly show, the Bantha Bunch. Check us out on Twitter, IG, TikTok, likewise, Letterboxd, all the internet things at the Drunk Banthas. Until next time, stay safe, my little cichlids.
Wait.
Oh, what?
The merch store. Go to the merch store.
Go to the merch store.
Go to the merch store.
Buy some stuff.
Stay
safe, my little cichlids, and may the force be with you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.